Hello, everyone. Hi. Obviously, you are probably wondering, why do you see this person in the Game Master's chair on this person, Jeremy Lily's channel? Uh, that is because tonight I'm going to be taking us on a little journey through the space area of Chrome City, where we are going to be exploring a little bit of a weird experiment of Chrome City, Harbinger, and Mecha Hack together. I'm very excited about this in my game known as Mother Knows Best. So before we begin, I would like to pass it to all of my players who are here tonight. Thank you guys so much for being here. And introduce yourselves and who you're going to be playing tonight. Let's start with Jeremy, please, since you are being so gracious to let me stay.
Oh, dude, it's my pleasure. I'm glad that you're here. It's exciting to have somebody run a game on the channel other than me, much less in a setting of mine. That's kind of I was talking about that with Cole at the beginning. It's kind of a dream as a world builder to be able to give your world over to other people to run. So I'm really excited to see what you do with it. Yeah, I am Jeremy. I have a YouTube channel. You should check it out sometime. Wait, never mind. Thanks for checking it out sometime. Yeah, I'm going to be playing AQ6. Otherwise known as Styx. He pilots the mecha called Sonic Boombox. I'm very excited. I think this is the highest level Harbinger character that I've ever played. And obviously one of the highest level Mecha Hack characters I've ever played. So I'm excited to see how this goes. And yeah, I'm excited to play with this group of people. It's a fantastic group of players. And always, Chad, I love playing in your games. So thanks for agreeing to come on and do this.
You're very welcome, sir. Let's pass it to Lloyd, please.
Hello, I'm Oscar the Grouch. I live in this little bin. As you can see, I can only barely stick my head up over the thing. I'm Lloyd, and I run a channel on YouTube called You're All DM, where I run games. I also run games on Check for Traps, I think it's called, Alan's channel. I'm really excited to play two of my favorite things my click made, which is good. I'm playing as Razvan, who's like a grizzled old bastard, mech commander and mercenary, and I'm really excited to get murdered.
I hope I can do that justice, Lloyd. I hope I can give you that grace of murdering you tonight. Let's go with Cole.
Aha, I found the unmute button. Yay. I'm Cole, or Nicole Sparks. You can find me on Fridays on CFT RPG, which is Check for Traps, Alan's channel, where I play with Chad in Adventures in Middle Earth, and I play a hobbit and I annoy the crap out of him. It's so fun. And today I'm going to be playing Octavia Weatherby, and her mech is Onyx Glory. And I'm really looking forward to this because I like both of these systems. I am just so scared I'm going to forget one of the really cool features that I've picked out, and like at the end of the game be like, oh right, I had this thing that would have been perfect. Oops. But inevitably that'll happen. So I'm super excited.
Thank you so much, Cole. I enjoy and love playing with you, so it's going to be an honor for me to get a chance to run a game for you. So yeah. Karen, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Karen. I have a channel called Myth and Gears where we play games like this over there. So if you like this one, go check it out. Like Lloyd and Cole, these are two of my absolute favorite systems, I guess, and it's set in Chrome City, so like it's like a dream come true. So this is pretty amazing for me. I can't wait to see what you're gonna do, Chad, and get on with it. And I'm going to be playing Free Sogard tonight, and her mecha is Midnight Vortex, and I'm pretty excited about about what we've got here, and I can't wait to show it off.
Okay, last but not least, my local Pacific Northwest love, Austin. Would you please introduce yourself, sir?
Hello. Yes, I am Austin. I have no channel of my own. I guess right now, I'll take the opportunity while I'm playing in a game that Chad's running on Jeremy's channel to tell you that I'm also in a game that Jeremy is running on Jake's channel. So maybe eventually, I can be on a game that Jake runs on Chad's channel, and it'll all come full circle. So yeah, I'm just excited to get into this game tonight. These are some high-level characters with some crazy things they can do, and it'll be fun to see all of the crazy things being thrown out to hopefully keep ourselves alive.
Yeah, I'm so excited and so thrilled that everyone was able to do this. This is a dream game of mine. It was kind of a weird concoction that I started throwing together. Hinted at rumors between Karen and Jeremy, and I was like, let's give this a try. Let's see if this works. So yeah, without further ado, guys, welcome to Chrome City. We will start the way that I feel like every Mecha Hack game starts. We kind of have to meet the crew. The way that we're going to do that is you are all currently within the city, preferably in a small area or a small offshoot known as the derelict. It is a absolute cesspool, for that matter, of what Chrome City would refer to as like the black market. It is where you go to get stuff done, but don't have to really throw your hand toward the SEPs or anything. It's you just go in, get the work done, and get out. You all know that there is currently a bounty out for this myth, this legend, referring to the Labyrinth. A contact of yours, Quirk, is a merc who is also in the business of mech dealing. He has a shop at the end of this slum, and when you get there, I don't know if all of you come at once. You can tell me, but when you get there, please describe your character as you enter, and then we'll go from there. Whoever would like to go first.
So Razvan's already there. Oh, you want to go? Okay. Razvan's already there. Has been there most of the day. He's sitting at in this booth, and he's playing this game. It's a little bit like poker, but more complicated. There's 8 suits, and all of the symbols are complicated, like Astra infused on these cards. But he's good at it. He's not great at it, but he's good at it. He carries this little orichalcum gem that he uses to hustle people because it's very valuable. And he only ever bets it when he knows he's going to win. He knows he's going to win because he's cheating. So he sort of leans back and he's thinking about it. And then he shoves in this crystal, says he's all in. And a bunch of the other guys who are sitting around are like, like throw their cards in. And he'll wait to see what happens.
So are you sitting down to this game with Quirk or with just other people?
I think somewhere else in the bar. Yeah.
Somewhere else in the bar? Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll see this, like, rather, how big do you think that Razvan is.
He's not like freaky tall, but he's very heavy. He's got like several bionic
He's hulky.
bits.
Yeah.
So he like weighs a lot more than he looks too.
Right. So I feel like there's a couple of patrons in the bar that are with you at this game, and most have gotten up, but one of them he's a hefty looking voidborn, and he looks across the table at you. Now, friend, we don't have to make this a mess. And I don't want to have to tell Quirk that you're trying to make things a mess in his shop.
I would never.
Oh, I think you would.
Look, if you can't afford it, you don't have to put in. But if you can't afford it in Glint, I mean, if you've got that ammo for the mechs we talked about, you could bet that if you felt like it. I'm not telling you what to do with your money.
What do you think, boys? Should I go in? Yeah, I say throw a bit in there. That's fine. You can make it. He takes a large, his hands have been kind of hidden, but now you see his arm is kind of like rends down on this purse and drops a hefty sum of glint on the table. I don't think you know who I am, do you?
I've heard great things about you. Of course I have.
No, you haven't, don't lie. But I've heard things about you, Razvan. Great war hero. Look at you with that armor on. Where'd you get that, by the way?
It was a gift.
Gift. Nothing is a gift in a merc's world. You know that.
Let's say it was heavily discounted.
Right. Well, I'd like to heavily discount this card game for you.
Listen, friend, if you don't want to bet, you don't have to. You know, you can fold right now and step away.
No. That was my bet right there. And you'll see that is a hefty sum. Whatever you bet, he bet double. Now are you going to call?
You know, I was pretty confident, but now I guess I have to go all in, and he'll shove whatever's in front of him onto the pot.
Okay. Trying to think of what you would want to roll for this.
I don't know. I just assume that Razvan like cheats at cards. And
I tell you what, I don't remember what. I think there is a sleight of hand still on the character sheet. No, there's not. Is there any sort of thing?
Deception.
Deception.
I'll have you roll deception. If you roll high enough, I'll allow it to where you can do something with the cards where you'd be able to win. Yeah.
Why did I set this up for myself?
I mean,
could I aid him by walking into the room at the appropriate time and distracting him?
Absolutely.
So maybe we've planned this then, Frey. So like I said to you, like there'll be a moment when I shove the cards. That's when you got to come and I'll swap them or whatever, right?
Yeah. So in walks Frey. This is she's dressed in this skin tight white. It's almost like a biker leather suit kind of thing, and it's really doesn't really fit here because it's so clean compared to everything, like no dirt whatsoever on it. It's spotless, and she's quite the looker. She's very charming and very pretty, and she just kind of saunters into the room, kind of gives Razvan the wink, and then making sure that the person that he's playing with, those people, are watching. Like she very obviously is going by them and doing everything she can to ooze sex appeal as she's walking them, making their eyes turn to her as she heads to the small little bar for these residents in this little area.
So to sell it, Razvan will also look like he's like, damn. Assuming they'll look too, and it's not even looking, he'll like has one card up his sleeve and he'll pick one up from the table, like from the set, and swap it. Will that give me advantage or something for the help? Or
Yes, that will give you advantage on the help. Yep.
Sweet. Okay, I really needed it. Okay, so with advantage, it's going to be 18.
Okay, I rolled as well just to see. We tied. I rolled an 18. So I will say that as you're doing it, you are successful because he turns his head just at the right moment to not see you. But you have your hands still on the cards as he turns his head around. I thought...
Getting a feel. Listen, it's Astra stuff. You wouldn't understand.
Astra stuff? What do you take me for?
What, you think I got through the war?
Quirk.
Oh, shit, balls. What the hell are you wanting?
And a goggled, small, humanoid man with frazzled hair underneath what looks like a welder's helmet kind of comes out at the ruckus at the bar.
What is the ever-loving problem? I'm trying to make deals here. Oh, it's you, Razvan. Shit.
Just playing some cards, Quirk.
What are you doing now?
This man seems to have a problem with me. I don't understand why.
He's clearly cheating, that's why.
I wouldn't say that.
Him and his crew. They always try to cheat me out of things.
Listen, friend, I can withstand a lot of bullshit, but I will not be called a cheat. He says cheating at cards. Do you think I lived through the Great War and saw that huge ship explode? Do you think I made it out of that explosion to sit in this stupid little bar and be called a cheat by gutter rats like you?
Fine. You owe me, Quirk.
I owe you? Was he? Oh, you. You're on my shit list, Razvan. Come on. By the way, why the hell did you bring your crew here? I thought I talked to you about this.
One sec, Quirk, and he'll go back to the guy and say, it's Doc 94-B that you can deliver the ammo to. Have a good one. And then he'll go.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Now, where's the rest of your crew?
Yeah, I think that's like as they're going to leave, that's when you can hear the approach of someone else coming long before you can see them. And the double doors or whatever like fly open, and this enormous baromech that's probably almost 8 feet tall and like 3 feet wide at the shoulder, like comes ducking in through the doorway, dragging a set of cybernetic legs that still have a spinal cord attached to them, kind of behind him. And this baromech is playing music. Like this, like, and in behind him strolls AQ6, who is this raggy covered Forgeborn with these glowing eyes and what looks like massive headphones on the side of his head. More metal than anything else, exposed metal and wires, and this tattered cloak that he wears. He walks in as if he's Freddie Mercury. He walks in behind this enormous baromech and says, "Meat bags. Did you miss me? I know you did. And he walks over to Quirk and he throws this satchel that's all grease stained and blood covered like onto the table, and several cybernetic parts like fall out of it, including like this almost completely cybernetic android head with like wires sticking out of the bottom of its neck, and its tongue is like flopped out of the side of its mouth. Another job done, Quirk. Another job done.
I'm going to kill every last one of you. Or at least I'm gonna have someone do it for me. Son of a bitch.
You could build at least 2 full baromechs out of this, what I brought you today. That's got to be worth something. Gratitude, at least. I know it's a lot.
Listen,
it's a tall
here,
order coming from you.
Listen here, android. I don't have any problem with you. That's fine. But for some reason, your crew thinks you can run over this place. It's mine.
You know, I didn't see your sign. It had your name on it. Well, that might be because I borrowed it. Pieces of it.
You borrowed my sign?
I mean, it was laying there, so...
Borrowed my sign?
I'll bring it back to you. It'll be in better shape than it ever was before. I promise, Quirk. I promise. Not like the last time. This is a new kind of promise.
You know we're good for it, don't you, Quirk?
Yeah. See, Cap's good for it.
He's totally speechless at this point. He's just like flabbergasted that all of you are now making kind of these individual spectacles in his bar, like in his shop.
Bree will come by as he's like being all flustered, and she's just going to lean down, kiss him on the cheek, and say, "Come on, Quirk. You know this is all good fun."
Yeah. Fine. Fine, Freya. But you're the one that should be keeping them in line.
Oh, I am. They're being well behaved.
You call this... Well, cheers to that, I guess.
He goes over to the bar, pours himself a large tankard of something, and
while he's pouring, he'd hear a bit of maybe like a slight sound of a metallic wind chime approach from behind, and right as he's taking a drink, he feels a hand clap on his back. Everyone here is just having good fun, buddy. And he looks over this man dressed in fairly, raggedy leathers, but he's got this like a tool belts that seem to be strapped across like every available surface, and not all of them are filled with tools, and a lot of them are filled with just bits of metal and scrap. And he kind of jingles a little when he walks. He looks at the pile of cybernetics and gore and viscera on the table. This is why I always keep my electronics on the outside.
Well, you can thank your buddy Sticks for that one.
So I'm not getting paid?
No. I have a guy for that. Now, you all have graciously asked me to work on your mechas, which I have, and then... Wait, 1, 2, 3... Where's your 5th?
And you hear this voice from behind you, and if you turn around, she's been sitting there all along. There's like a drink on the table, and Octavia is like, "Darling, I'm right here. I don't know what the problem is. I've been watching this whole spectacle. It's delightful. Such a charming atmosphere here."
I try to. That is my goal. At Quirk's Quasars, we are specialty at mech and public relations. So
you got Greek specifications for our mechs, I suppose.
I did.
We'll be checking thoroughly.
Yes, sir. Of course. Now, I heard you're going on some sort of special salvo, so I made sure that all of your mechs were rigged out for that. But you can't be serious when you're talking about where you're going, right?
Oh, why ever not?
Why ever not? The Labyrinth. That's a myth. A joke. A ghost story. It doesn't even exist. You'd be lucky to get out there and then get crushed by a scrug band.
As long as you get paid before, do you really care?
No, I don't really care. I actually prefer to get paid in advance, but you don't do that, so that's fine.
Would you
Now-
pay for Scrug Tech brought back to you, maybe, perchance? Because, I mean,
I
you know,
didn't
if we're
think
going
about
out
that.
there anyway, I mean,
Usually I pay for Harbinger stuff, but I mean, if you want to pick up some scrug, that would be fine too. But it doesn't pay as well. Now, I know that my place looks like a turd polished over, but inside it's a pretty nice dig. The bar isn't as good, but what I do with your mechs is special. Come on. And he walks you into like a back room. This big set of double doors like hisses open, and he walks you in, and from the like neon dive bar-esque style of the bar that is there in the mechanics room, it is pristine and beautiful and lit up with all manner of like astrotech and things like that are just glowing around and moving around. Now, you understand why I have to keep this, motioning to the mech tech, under wraps for Chrome City. If they knew how much tech work I put into this, there would be mechs roaming around Chrome City every day. But they're not, so. Now, you know the story of the Labyrinth, right? And there was a woman named Merritt. She piloted the Labyrinth. They were one of the first ships out of Chrome City to attempt a Harbinger salvo. But like I said, it's a relic, an ancient story. If by some means you find that, I don't even know what's there.
which means you pay
That's
a lot
why
for
we're
it.
going, because
Yeah, of
you
course
don't
I
know
would.
what's there. No one's brought it back before.
Yeah, I'm just saying you're probably signing your death warrants. That's all I'm saying. So I need in advance these copies. He kind of like goes over to a small desk that is in front of. Hello, Jerk. Can you thank you? I appreciate it. He kind of pulls out a couple files, and like they're discs that he now hands to you, and then it's a digital copy.
Zeke turns to Styx and just says, "Hey, is this death warrant number 6 for you? I think it's number 8. This is the 8th death warrant I've signed for myself."
This would only be my 3rd, but I'm certain that there's probably more than 8 out on you already. Zeke.
Those are rookie numbers.
You'll understand I can't sign anything until my legal team has reviewed it.
Oh,
I'll
God.
send it to them. They have authority on that sort of thing.
Of course, Octavia. You highbrow people. Fuck crazy. All right. Fine. Go look at your mechs. See how I did. I don't care if you like them or not. It's done. And then you can take them and get the hell out of my face.
And before he's even done talking, Octavia is like gone to look at her mech because, yeah.
Okay, and this would be the portion where I would like you guys to go ahead and kind of flavor what your mechs look like before you're hitting to your ship.
Well, Onyx Glory is the smallest of the mechs that are here. And it's black, hence the name Onyx Glory. And it looks fast. If a thing that stands still can look fast, this would be it. And it seems to sort of, the surface of it seems to sort of glint a little in the light, almost shimmering, like there's some sort of force field happening there. There doesn't seem to be a lot of armament. That doesn't necessarily mean there isn't any armament. It's just that's not really the function of this mech. It's to go fast.
Zeke's mech is called Scrap Heap, and that's not an accident. In a resting state, looking at this thing, you wouldn't think that it was a mobile piece of machinery. You would think that it was an assembled pile of a hoarder's junk. But once it powers to life, it raises up onto four kind of stubby legs with these two elongated arms that kind of curl out from this stocky body. And it has like a powerful red glow that seems to just like burst from the back of it, where these kind of like makeshift vents are all kind of layered over and occasionally raise up to let out this steam of like this puff of heat and exhaust.
Yeah, Gorgon 6 is gigantic. It's probably the biggest mech here. It's very clearly a military mech. It's got like layer upon layer of armor plates, these like massive shoulder plates that the cockpit is like receded into the body itself so that there's no easy way to shoot at it. It's got like slung over one shoulder like a chain gun the size of a bus, just enormous, with this like never ending like chain of bullets that feed into it, each bullet the size of a person. It's just enormous. The armor looks like it's made of some kind of like concrete, maybe like the outer layer, and then ceramics, and then steel, and then all the way down, like layer upon layer. It's also covered in all parts with like writing, graffiti, bits and pieces. Like it is clearly an old and out of date mech.
You know, I think the bay that Styx's mech is supposed to be in is actually fairly empty. Like, you know, it's almost like one of those things where it pans over and we've seen, you know, all of these individual mechs in good detail, and then it pans over to this fairly empty bay as Stick walks up and kind of looks around at just the few armaments and things that are like hanging about on the walls and from the ceiling. And he says, "All right, big guy, come on." And his baromech actually steps into the bay and turns around, and all of these like wires lower and attach to him and start to separate his pieces and parts as he enlarges. And Styx gets to work kind of attaching some of these armaments that had been worked on and adjusted to kind of work them into his body as these upgrades. And he's going to then kind of turn around and back into the part of his baromech, which then kind of closes and starts to snap back together and is now kind of almost like a second skin around AQ6. And he kind of starts to get used to moving the joints and things like that. And he's like, all right, now we can rock and roll in this.
And lastly, Midnight Vortex is probably one of the most alien looking mechs in this bay. It is also black like Onyx, except that it has this shimmer that kind of reflects off of it as you look at it. It's almost like it swirls in your eyes, and out of the corner of your eye you can it definitely looks different than when you look straight on it. It's very off-putting a little bit as well. The other thing that is also very odd about it, besides even the shapes that it has, like it's not angular like the other mechs, but it has 3 arms rather than just 2. And so you can definitely tell it has been probably harvested from the Harbinger itself, bits of it, some sort of tech there. Definitely alien. And when Free sees it, she just basically goes up to it and just caresses that outer hull that it's made of, and just you can just tell she's communing with it, if you will.
Get a room.
Don't you want to watch?
Okay, fine. Now, is everybody happy? Everybody enjoying their mechs? Yes, you're welcome. Quirk did a good job this time.
Yeah, it's good work, Quirk.
What are you all standing around? What are you all standing around here for then? I have to fill these bays with more mechs. That's the way I work.
I didn't get an air freshener this time. That's fine. Whatever.
You're gonna be in space. What the fuck? You. What do you want?
You'll miss us, Quirk.
You know what?
Bye.
Jarek. What? Bring me, what do you want? What do you want? For a scrap heap, what do you want for that?
You got new mech smell?
New mech smell. Of course, that's we. You got new mech. Here. And he tosses you essentially a new mech air freshener. It is the size of about a hockey puck. And it looks like a very like cartoon-esque mech. There you go. Dangle that in front of you.
I imagine.
See how you feel.
I imagine it smells of like fresh chrome and new oil.
Exactly. 100%.
Can it be a bobblehead? I just want like he puts it right
yeah,
on his
100%.
little dash. His little dash head.
I
It's just
picture
a
like
little
a little
bobblehead.
bobblehead on the. It's just like
It's
a little,
of Quirk.
little mech bobblehead of Quirk.
Little advertising.
Did a good
piece.
job.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he just puts that like front and
It's a
center.
hula Quirk. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It says
And,
Quirk's
yeah.
Works on the back.
Quirk's Works. Yeah, you're welcome. So after a while, you've all gathered your mechs, and they'll be shipped. They will be shipped from Quirk's to your shipyard where you'll be taking off. And I think that's where we'll go to next. Is you arrive at the shipyard and you're all getting on the ship. Your mechs are getting loaded onto the ship. You guys can talk amongst yourselves, kind of plan what you're doing, but you know where you're going, and you know that you are not the only one in Chrome City who knows of this bounty either.
I think we see AQ6 kind of stowing away several bags of belongings, like more than a normal person would need to come on a trip like this. And you can see kind of Sonic Boombox being loaded into the back. He kind of takes a little bit of a nervous look back at the where the mech is being loaded, and he's going to lean kind of closer towards Razvan. So, Cap, what's the angle here? Like, there's got to be an angle, right? We got something up, a leg up on these other guys. We know what we're doing. We know where we're going. Yeah?
We're better than them.
Well, that's given. Okay, so you know what we're looking at?
You know what? I will say this, Lloyd. If you want to roll me perhaps some sort of an intelligence check or maybe astrogation, whatever you feel you would want to. Yeah, whatever you would feel would give you an up, I will allow you to try to get a bearing, and then we'll go from there and to see what you kind of know about either the other groups or
Can I help? I have expertise in lore.
Yeah, let's go with that. So I'll have you do one roll for the lore, and then you do one roll for the astrogation. Lloyd, yours will give you more of a direction, and then Octavia's roll will give more of like the city workings, things you may know about the other groups that are coming and going.
I rolled a 22.
Oh my god. Okay, cool.
I have a plus 12 to lore.
No, that's
so,
amazing.
You know.
So yes, 100%. Okay, so and then
I got 14 on my astrogation.
14. Okay. So with 14, you know roughly where the rumors have, with a 14, you know roughly where the rumors have said that the labyrinth lives, or in space, but you're not 100% sure just yet. So you have kind of a heading, but you're not 100% where you're at. With a 22, Octavia, you seem to have an ear for the streets. You have this knowledge that you hear in whispers. And I'll say this, you know that there are at least 2 other teams that are aware of this bounty and are going after it. One of which you definitely know, and it is run by a woman known as Calliope. She is the leader of a ship known as the Eyes of Ozen.
Since we don't have an exact heading, is there anything I could do to boost our sensor range?
Yeah,
so
when you guys
closer?
get out, when you guys actually get out into space, I'll have you do that. I'll have you do those kinds of things, and then we'll go from there. But like, you're still on ground, so that's just you guys making that initial rolls.
So with my lore, would I know anything about Merritt? Was that her name? The pilot?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Merritt, yeah, I think with the 22, you definitely would know a little bit more about Merritt. Merritt was one of the first, obviously, the people know that she was one of the first trips out to the Harbinger. But other things that you know is that there's this rumor that they were stranded for quite a long time and that no one came back for them. So take that as it is, but that's the rumor that you know as well, is that she was trying, but no one came.
If we don't have an exact location yet, but we do know that the Eyes of Ozen is going there, is there a way that we can follow them? Is that something? I'll say it to Zeke, actually.
Yeah, I will gladly say that there's probably a way, but I'll let you guys role play that out.
Hey, Zeke. He'll just do the annoying manager, like, hand signal.
Yeah, Zeke's there in just a minute. Like, he's kind of been hanging around waiting for his turn at bat. Yeah, what do you need, boss?
You know, the Eyes of Ozen?
Yeah, heard of them. Been around long enough.
My impression is that they know where they're going exactly. And we don't know exactly where we're going. So
do we know where they'd be taken off from? You know much about their home base? Because I might be able to retrofit a drone with a tracker. Maybe I could connect it to the ship when they launch. We could just follow them from a safe distance. When they get close enough, we blow them out of the sky. I mean, we do whatever we need to do to get closer and get there before them.
You're on the right track. Yeah. I don't know where exactly, but I'm sure that I can find out.
I'll start working on the drone now.
All right.
So, Cap, you need something found out? Because I'm your guy.
I was just going to ask which of you would be best at finding out this information. So you'll say to Six then, we need to know what dock Calliope's ship is, the Eyes of Odin.
Okay. Anything in particular you want me to find out or import into
Just where
their
ship
systems?
is.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, once we know where they are, we're going to put a drone on there. Talk to Zeke, he knows, because it's all just like Greek as far as Razvan's concerned. He doesn't have a clue like what the tech is or whatever, so he's like, you guys can figure that out.
You got it, boss. And he's going to kind of give this like flourishing bow and turn and go discuss things with Zeke. And try to find a terminal.
Salute. He'll say to himself, quietly, saluting is fine. And he sees the bow.
So yeah, he's going to go discuss this with Zeke and then immediately head to some kind of terminal where it would be able to access whatever network all of these ships would be communicating with and things like that and try to hack in.
Sorry, I was making notes. Yeah, absolutely. So can you, Jeremy, if you want to go do that, that's fine. I will have you roll me, what would be most appropriate?
Could it be investigation? Because I'm really good at investigation.
Yeah, just roll me an investigation check.
Yeah.
Or a tech.
Either one.
Or a tech roll, whatever.
They are actually
fits
the
best.
same for me.
Whatever
So
fits best for you. Okay. Either one works.
So I rolled a 20, which is going to make that a 33.
Nat 20. Sweet. Holy cow. So not only do you know where, so here's what I'll say is this. You know exactly where they are docked through the rumor mills, maybe even on, I will say, even on Sonic Boombox, maybe as you're listening to the music in your headphone, like in your headphones-esque, right? You get that, you find a way to get like that jammer signal and you can like hear their personal conversations, and eventually you find out where their location is. You hear this woman come over the comms, and a couple of them sound nervous, but then another woman sounds so confident. Madam, are you sure? Listen, I have never been more certain in my life. This is our one chance to go up to the Labyrinth and find it. We're going to find what's in there. We're going to find what Merid wanted to bring back. I promise this.
So he's going to take a recording of this bit that came across, and he's going to make sure that that's loaded onto a lorium vial or something that's in the ship here, and send that to the bridge essentially, so that that's stored and accessible information up there. I think he's going to try to not only pinpoint where they are, he's going to try to see if he can't maybe find the route that they're actually taking. See if they've got that loaded in their system.
Within that 20, I won't have you re-roll with that because it's too good of a roll with a 33. I will say this: you can find a way to, if you keep listening long enough, you can find a way to hack that that tech to listen into their, if you walk, like I imagine it's like this: if Styx were to walk past, once he finds that location, if he were to walk past and just kind of like stand outside in an alley and be close enough, he could probably listen to their bridge, right? He could probably listen directly to their conversations on the bridge. All right, so we are going to have to go to this point, and they give you a number and letter code. So it says A7, B6, D4, kind of like just astragational locations. along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's actually Sonic Boombox that he's like stationed outside of this at this one point.
you
where,
just
like,
you just drop this mech like a trash can on the side.
Just leave him like
That's
leaning
awesome.
up against a building, looking like he's decommissioned or something. And then he's like, a signal booster directly to, wherever I'm got receiving, and I'm storing it away and putting it into our information, trying to program our own navigational route and things like that with the relevant data.
Okay, sweet. So what I'll say is that with all those roles, I think that works out just fine. You head back to the crew. You've got your information. You guys are ready to go if you'd like. It sounds like. Other than that, if you guys want to get any more information, you are more than welcome to just tell me what you would like to do, and we can do that. It sounds like that Zeke wanted to try and sabotage the ship before they took off. So I will allow that opportunity if you would like.
Yeah, since we found out where they were, and I don't need to track them, I would as soon as I found out that we had more of a line on where they were going, I'd like to try to switch gears from creating a tracking device to creating something more like a timed explosive, but like a small piercing explosive, hoping to like plant it on their gas or their fuel.
Oh, so good.
Their fuel line. Try to like make them run out of fuel, but hopefully something small enough that they won't notice right away.
Right, so that it's like a slow leak on a tire. That's so good. Okay, I will 100% let you do that. When Zeke goes there, however, unless Styx left Sonic Boombox there at that space when he left, you're going in by yourself. And there may or may not be a route that is protecting it. Like these mercs are going in and out, kind of like, keep doing their business at the dock until they leave.
Okay, yeah, my goal is to use a scouting, like a drone, an ArcMesh drone, to do most of this and move it as quietly as I can and just place the thing with the drone.
Yeah.
Are you going to be? If you want, I can go and talk to them so they're looking at me and not you.
That's awesome. Yeah, we can do that.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll run down to the dock and sort of stand there with my hand on my hip and look at their ship, sort of like appraisingly, and watch people going by, sort of like.
Yeah, you see, as you stand out there, Resvin, you see this rather large, like very tall woman step out. Her shoulders kind of flex a bit as she looks at you. Can I help you?
Is this Calliope? Do I know her to look at?
You know, I think you would know out of everyone, and probably Octavia, because she did so well. If she was here, she could give you a better, like, definitive, but you would know that this person is not Calliope. This person is one of her second in command, Hippolyta. And she's this like very tall Amazonian like woman that like oozes this intimidation as she's like standing in front of the plank before the ship.
Is your captain in?
She is.
Can I have a word?
Who can I say is talking?
Bellic. She'll know.
Bellic?
Right.
One
Captain
moment,
Bellic,
please.
From the war.
One moment, please. Calliope. Yes. You've got a visitor. What kind of visitor would want to come see? Oh,
It's you.
Calliope, darling, how are you? So good to see you.
Don't call me that.
Come on. Look, I know,
What do you want, Resvin?
well, I heard of this job.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Good for you. I'm glad you have ears, because everyone in Chrome City has heard about it by now.
I don't think so.
I'm sure they have. I know that I have. Have you? Are we talking about the same?
You're talking about the job at...
What do you like? There's this moment where they're like talking over each other.
I'm talking about the job on Forlorn.
Oh, well, no, I hadn't heard of that drop. What exactly are you talking about?
There was a run-in. Where basically a Grimoire ship and an Alzarine ship had an altercation, and one of them crashed onto the surface of Forlorn, and apparently there's good scrap there. And I know that you're capable, so I thought maybe we could go together and split what we get.
Split what we get. Well, I'm afraid that I can't help you.
Still sore over that time.
No. I just have a more pressing mission to attend to. If it were any other circumstance, I would do so. Certainly. But not now.
Okay, well, I just thought I'd ask, I guess.
Of course.
Good luck with whatever you're doing. You're missing out.
Well, what would I be missing out on?
Well, scrap. The chance to spend time with me, of course.
That's not really an investment, you know. But she kind of smiles on, like, I have made my commitment to my crew, and the ladies of my crew know that this is something that means the world to me, so I can't, unfortunately.
Well, no problem. We can always do it some other time.
Yes, well, where are you going?
Forlorn. Broken Moon. Yeah,
yes,
there was an altercation there, and a ship crashed, and, well, there might be some Alzarine tech or something.
Alzarine tech.
Yeah, you know. You know.
Well, you have fun doing your job, and I'll have fun doing mine.
Very good. Well, have a good one.
Take care, Resvin.
And he'll as he walks away, certain that he's given enough time for him to do the job.
You can see Hippolyta's like standing on the top of the gangplank, like looking at Hippolyta and or at Calliope and your exchange, and then, what do you see in that man? Absolutely nothing. Don't worry about it. Just go. It's fine. So you have enough time now. He definitely bought you some time to where now there's no one watching, and their mechs are getting loaded just as your mechs are getting loaded as well. So you have some time to do what you need to do.
Yeah. So as he's approaching, Zeke presses a little button on his part of his helmet, and these straps over every little bit of his tool belts kind of tighten down into to stop the rattling, and he creeps up, drops himself into position, pulls a little piece, like a couple little slivers of this these bits of metal that he has, and he snaps them together and sets this arc mesh drone up, and has it kind of creep around. He's watching as this conversation goes, and waiting for every kind of turn. Like, this is kind of a dance that Razvan and Zeke have worked together before, so he kind of knows like the speed he needs to kind of try to turn the conversation to put the person's back.
There's probably a moment where like Calliope is like getting ready to turn her back, and then like Resvin's like, no, keep talking to me. Like let's just keep having this conversation. And yeah, I think that time when like her body moves and his body moves in that direction, like you have the opportunity to move that mech into place.
Yeah, there's that brief moment where she kind of like very quickly is she's like maybe she's about to sneeze or something, and he just like the mech just like drops, the drone just drops out of sight as she turns, and then she turns back and it like back up and zooms over to its goal to leave a little tiny bomb on their fuel canister. So what do I need to roll for that?
I would assume you would need to, if you have probably tech for for that, to see if you can get it to adhere correctly.
Okay. So that's a 22 overall.
Absolutely. Then, yeah. I mean, I'm having high DCs for you guys, but yeah, no, you're fine. 22 will definitely do it.
So it drops this tiny little piece of explosive onto the thing, and it sets like a remote timer thing, not a timer, a remote detonation. But the drone lifts up and kind of shoots off about 20 yards to the left, and then it just kind of drops down, and the pieces disassemble in a little heap of scrap, and he just walks away.
So good. Okay, yeah. So you have all done the sabotage. You have successfully done all of the reconnaissance. I believe this is time for you all to get to know your ship and to finally jump into the ship. So you all head back to your ship. Lloyd, could you please describe this crew's ship, seeing as you are the captain of this ship?
Sure. I'll describe the cockpit, and somebody else could do a different room.
Yes, please. Like, that's great. I would love to have as much participation as possible.
So the cockpit of this thing is, there's like, it doesn't actually have a captain's seat. It's too old, so it's got a bench that we've put in instead and like bolted to the ground. So several people can sit at once. It's got, it looks like a modern airplane in that there are 700 buttons all over the place, and some of them are marked with like bits of paper that like say "don't touch" or panic button or whatever. It's been like painted and repainted so many times that it sort of has this look of like a multicolored disaster, because it's been repainted so many times over the years. And it's got all these talismans like hanging from buttons and levers at the top. So like little necklaces that have like a talisman from the time that we went to, one of the moons, and like we fought there and we succeeded and we got this thing, and like all over. So the whole place, like when the ship turns suddenly, like jingles like insanely, as if there's like 100 wind chimes up there. But it all works barely. You have to know what you're doing with it. It's a difficult ship to fly because it's temperamental, but that's what we got.
Oh man, I've already got visuals and I'm so happy with it. Who would like to take another part of the another part of the ship?
I'm just curious, have we named it?
I believe we may have attempted to name it in chat, but
okay, I just missed what the name ended up being.
Is that what we called it?
I think we named it the Minoan, but if you guys want to change it on the fly, you most certainly can. I'll just make it in the notes.
No, that's all good. I was just curious. I just missed that.
Okay, so I'll describe another part. So I think where the mechs are loaded is almost this like rotunda, like this rotunda, this large round area where the bays are against the wall, and there's only enough room for us to walk in between them to kind of get into them. And this rotunda kind of stays somewhat off to the side of the main like kind of the main body of the ship until it's time for us to be deployed, and that rotunda kind of falls into place almost like a revolver chamber, and each time it kind of rotates and lines up one of these mech bays with this like projectile tube that launches the mechs out straight away underneath the ship, and then it will rotate the rotunda again for the next mech, and it does that like a revolver's chamber, exactly like it.
Oh, my geeky little heart is dying right now. It's so good. Thank you. Again, whoever would like to take another part is more
I've
than
got
welcome.
one.
Yeah.
The canteen. It originally was like a ordinary cafeteria sort of thing with ugly cafeteria furniture that all cafeterias have, and those tables that are always kind of wobbly. But over the years, things have been broken in discussions, let's say, and replaced with various different pieces of furniture that people pick up here and there. So it's just this hodgepodge that looks like a variety of parents' basements, you know, the furniture that's been disregarded from other places or picked up here on sale or whatever, and does not match anything. Yeah, there's a chair that was once a barrel mech, just cuz, and there's various different souvenir type things, some of which the souvenirs predate almost everyone on the ship except for Lloyd's character. And yeah, it's just this visual hodgepodge of sensory overload when you walk in there. And it's a little sticky because it's where we eat.
And this ship was originally designed as a freighter or a hauler. It wasn't really intended for the kind of uses that we take it into, where we occasionally need to get into the occasional scrap or two with less than friendly combatants. And so there's like a dorsal like gunner pod, but it seems just completely alien to this thing. Like it's just been slapped on. It's just this ugly boil on top of the fuselage of this like kind of sleek-ish looking freighter. And it's like it's got all these like patchwork of different metals that are all welded down to keep it airtight. And like the glass on it is like on one part it's this curved like windshield type dome, but then on the other side it's just a totally flat kind of bulletproof screen of glass, because that's what we were able to get when we were constructing it. I want to say that there's like at least like a 13-degree area that it just won't turn to. Like there's this little section that it's just like
one area that's your blind spot you can't ever turn to. Yeah, that's.
I need you to turn 4 degrees north. Like
I can't.
Otherwise, I'm not going to hit it.
Turn the ship that way. Okay, perfect. Yes.
Man, imagine the rest of the ship is also the same kind of hodgepodge throw together. You go down the corridors and there are like panels missing, and so you've got like you can see exposed wiring because we haven't quite got to that fixing that part yet. The living quarters, if you will, it's kind of like this tube you go down, and then there's these very vast like these doors that go off to the side for each of the little pods that we have, and there's been nameplates. Names have been scratched off, renamed, scratched off, renamed, scratched off, renamed as Razvan goes through his crew so quickly. And you get a really sense of that there has been a lot of people that have been on this ship before. And we're just the last 4 of his mighty crew.
Guys, that's excellent. So I'll have you guys do a little bit of, you guys are more than free to move around the ship, do some RP. with each other, trying to get to know each other's characters as you get ready to leave and disembark into the astral space.
And this trek is going to take like days to get to, right? It's not like an hour.
It's probably going to take days. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's probably going to take days. I'm going to definitely speed it up for the sake of time. but
Yeah,
you
for sure.
Yeah, it will definitely be some days of.
So the only thing that I know that I want to get across with sorry, Cole, with Styx is like his bunk, like where he sleeps, and it's basically just a vat that has oil in it, but it's like almost exactly looks like some kind of futuristic coffin. And there's a lot of like analogy of him like laying himself down in there, and the lid closes and it fills up and then it drains and he kind of rises up out of it. Very, very vampire-like. And he completely and totally embraces that imagery.
Do you clean up after yourself? Is the question, or is there just piles of oil every night? Just
no, I think he goes through some kind of process. You know, he like gets out and he's like sprayed from like 17 different directions or something.
I imagine that like very frequently, if there's ever like any that's just left on him, if he's walking by Zeke will just like reach a rag out and like grab a little bit of the oil to like for use in whatever scrap he's like, then I need a little bit more. Just kind of reaches out, swipes you.
I think in lieu of socializing with any of the crew, Octavia is going to spend some time in her little pod attempting to see if she can hack into the ship that's losing all of its gasoline or whatever it is that ships run on, just to make sure in case they don't lose enough that they don't wind up where they're supposed to be. So
yeah, you guys can certainly do
she's
it.
geeking out.
Yeah, do it.
Do you want me to roll something?
I would like you to
Tech.
roll tech, yes, for this. If you're going to try to hack into them, because you don't know if they've taken off yet. You don't know any of that, so you'll just have to roll to see if you can hack into their system.
Yeah, that is I can 23.
You got it. It is you were able to do so. It'll definitely take you probably over a night to get through all of their firewalls and stuff. I will, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and roll a counter tech to see if someone catches you hacking into their system.
Okay.
I do not. Even with all my bonuses, I wouldn't have enough to beat the 23. So
Awesome.
Yeah, you're good. So you hack into their system, kind of unnoticed. And what would you like to do now that you are in their ship space?
I'm going to change their astrogation tables. I'm going to make them just slightly off so that they think they're hopping to one place and they're actually hopping to a completely different sector of space.
Excellent.
Or possibly into the center of a sun. You know.
Oh,
whatever.
Nice. Into the center of a sun. That'd be fantastic.
I'm just messing with the numbers. And,
the bleeding eye. The bleeding. Just send them to the bleeding eye. That sounds great.
You know, it just their computer is not going to know which way is up.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. So yeah, I would say that you 100% managed to do that. You see them. If you guys have not taken off, you see them take off from their space.
I'm sorry. I thought we had all taken off already.
No. I'm just saying if you guys decided to stay and you hadn't taken off, but if you guys are leaving and you guys are already out, you are pretty confident that even if they do write it, it's going to take them a while to figure it out. Right? So they may take it may take an extra day, may take a couple days, but you don't know.
Razvan will spend his time like down in the mech bay, and he'll be taking out each huge bullet and like carving like boom or gotcha or something on each one.
Onomatopoeias on the bullets.
That kind of stuff. Like he's, travel is boring. So he'll be spending some time doing that. And then occasionally just checking in with everybody to make sure that they're like sane and being in some way productive if they can be. But it doesn't really matter since we're just we've got the coordinates, it's right, it's driving itself. So that's what he'll be doing.
Excellent.
Yeah, Free spends a lot of time kind of here and there and pacing, and should be up at the cockpit at one point, just sitting there watching the consoles. I mean, she's not doing anything. She doesn't really know what they mean, but she's just like, trying to do something, got to keep occupied. Then she'll, you'll see her again. Now she's kind of lying maybe on her bunk, and she's flinging, like she'll manifest a dagger, this red glowing dagger, and throw it across the room. It'll disappear. She'll manifest another one, throw it across the room, and she'll be doing that. And then you'll see her again. She'll be like in the canteen. Now she's like just kind of fussing her out and trying to do something. And she'll be looking over her shoulder, where Styx is playing his video game that he's, whatever it is, who knows? He said maybe it's Half-Life 3 finally. Like that. But she's like throwing this odd look every once in a while she's trying to be busy. Then all of a sudden she just finally turns and says, "Would you stop looking at me?" And then she'd storm out the room. "You are muted."
He says, wasn't. And he like points to the screen that he's been like staring at for hours. Like when she storms out of the room, he kind of looks.
Appreciate it.
He like looks to whoever else is in the room with like a "the fuck" kind of like expression.
Yeah, Razvan raises an eyebrow at it. Like, that was weird.
Sounds like space madness.
I'm gonna go check. And he'll like groan, and like also like the servos in his leg will whine as he like brings himself to standing, and then we'll go after Free.
Just let her know if the personality is defective, I can't replace that part.
All right, so this is definitely going to be like our astrogation time, right? As you guys are still doing it, I'm just going to need someone, anyone can do it, to make sure you stay on the safe route, the safe or your standard route. We'll figure it out. I just need someone to roll me a d20.
Is anyone a good astrogator?
For astrogation.
I don't have
I imagine
proficiency
Zeke's
in it.
too busy running around trying to fix all the janky parts of this broke ass ship to be in the cockpit astrogating.
I don't have any ranks in it, but I have a 20 intelligence, so if nothing else, I'll attempt it.
Yeah, man. Whoever wants to take helm, I just need to make sure you guys stay on course, as it's going to take, based on what it says in the book, it's going to take you 3 days to get to essentially the Harbinger area from Chrome City. So you just have to make sure that you stay on course and not jump off. So
do you guys want me to do it?
Yeah, Octavia, go for it, I'd say. Or okay. Styx, since you got the +5.
Okay. That is a 23.
You easily stay on course for this particular leg of your journey. Yeah. So you guys. What? Sorry. Go ahead.
Is there is this a point where I could start trying to increase our sensor range, or
Yeah, you could
try to boost our just our onboard navigational computers to try to make it a little easier for him?
I will say absolutely you could try to do that for sure.
Ooh, well, we're not playing the Mecha Hack yet, so I can't roll under. So 2 doesn't help me much.
So what? How much?
Well, let's see. Is that a tech roll?
Yeah, tech roll.
Okay, so even with a 2, I've got a plus 12 to that one, so 14.
14. Oh wow. Okay, yeah. I forgot how intense the level 10s would be.
Expertise and
expertise,
plus 4 proficiency bonuses.
You'd be able to definitely help out with that. Okay, yeah. Whatever you would like to do, you currently can do so to aid in getting that taken care of.
My goal is just to make it so that our sensors maybe could make it a little easier to locate, try to give them advantage on
exactly.
The
so what I'll say is that's what'll happen. You kind of work through the night, kind of playing with some of the wires and cords that are haphazardly thrown away, and you maybe throw some wires out that you don't need, very much like Rocket Raccoon-esque, like, I don't need this, I don't need that thing, it's fine, whatever, but eventually you get it to work and it works perfectly. And then you see on your screen that your sensor radar has gone and doubled now. So
he turns to 6, says, "Did you know that we had a safety limiter on this?" Safety limiter. Who needs one of those?
Seriously, it's much, much better without one. Again, if we all blow up, most of us will survive. At least the important ones.
Slight increased chance in overload, and yeah, that might melt a couple of servos. It might fry a reactor core or two, but the explosion should be pretty contained.
I have an extra heat sink or two in my bunk. I could just let you have those if you want to slap them on there.
Might not be the worst idea, so that we don't go supernova.
Yeah, just in case.
I reckon Razvan's like walking by the room and just hears, "So we don't go supernova," and he goes, and just keeps walking.
Excellent. Okay, so it is now evening 2. You are getting closer and closer to your destination. However, you start to see that something is coming up on the sensors. Now that you have an additional boost to your sensors, you start to see that something is blipping, boop, 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 on your radar. And it starts as a 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A bunch of little blips on the radar.
Who's on the bridge? Is there anybody on the bridge?
That's the question. Is there anyone on the bridge right now? Or are you all in your bunks tucked away for the evening?
Ooh.
It's on autopilot and it's just going to start flying through. If it is, and
I would imagine. Oh, sorry. I would imagine that Zeke would try to have like any onboard sensors patched through to his mech while he's on board, because he generally sleeps in the mech. And just in case there's anything that's like wrong that he needs to mechanically fix. So I don't know if this would come up on the same sensors that would like notify of a gas leak or something.
So essentially what you hear the klaxons going, and you immediately kind of jolt awake.
But I should have installed the heatsink.
But by the time you get up, you feel this you feel the hull lurch because it's in autopilot right now. There is no one on the bridge, so it's going to get hit. Now you have shields on this, but you can clearly feel that there is an impact that is happening.
I don't know what kind of electrical panels might be available to me, but feeling that there is can I tell about this impact like right before it happens or as
it's right before it happens? I think you have an opportunity to see it. You see that there's like 10 or 15 little blips out there in the space, and if you have an opportunity, maybe you can see what they are. You realize that you are now flying through an asteroid band.
So Zeke will hit the full ship alarm and patch into the intercom, say all hands, and he'll start just scrambling himself to the cockpit as best he can. He's not sure he's going to be able to do much from here, and there's not a whole lot you can divert to shields without fucking over the whole crew if they're all spread out throughout the ship.
Yeah.
Razvan will assume that it's either something trying to kill us. That's what he assumes. So he'll run to the gun.
Yeah. So Razvan's going to the gun. We have Zeke going to work on tech. How are the rest of you reacting as you can now, based on Zeke's acknowledgement, know that something is going on and something is clearly hitting the ship?
Octavia would have patched her own little spyware into the sensors and would bring it up in her bunk and be like, oh, okay, we're under attack, and head to the bridge. Saunter to the bridge.
Meanwhile, there's holes in the hull, and she's like, this is fine.
This place looks like a dump anyway.
Free goes the other way. She heads to the mech bay, and getting them prepared in case we have to quickly suit up and launch. So that's her job. She'll start prepping them, making sure they're ready to go.
Excellent. Can I get one of you to roll me I believe it's astrogation that I would need for you to make a like moving out of the way, sort of like trying to like do the Millennium Falcon dodging the impacts kind of thing. I
could just be a void ship proficiency roll too, I think.
Yeah, void ship proficiency would work as well. Yeah, that would be wonderful.
I have proficiency in void ships. Does anybody else?
Whoever
Lloyd does. Lloyd, you're captain. You go ahead.
Well, I was running to the gun.
You're going to the gun.
So
okay.
If you want to take go
flyer,
for it.
Yep.
All right. What do I add the proficiency bonus to? Just straight 20, or do
so
I throw in
it is
astrogation?
So it's a D20. And then you add your astrogation, and then based on how hazardous the route is, I tell you whether or not you would beat it.
Okay. All right. So my proficiency in void ship doesn't come into play?
No, proficiency in void ship would. Yeah, no. I
think there'd be different rolls. So you would either
rolls.
make an astrogation check or you would make a void ship.
Yep, void ship roll.
Like,
yep. But I'm gonna treat it with the same DC properties. So they have a certain DC value for every like standard, easy, hard kind of astrogation roll. I'm going to treat that with the same DC value for void ship.
All right. I rolled, hang on a sec here. Where's my astrogation? I rolled a 12.
Okay. So I think with that, you get up to the you get up to the bridge and you get a hold of the controls and you start doing it, but then you realize this is a lot for you to navigate through. A couple barrel rolls and a couple of maneuvers here and there. You're doing okay, but you definitely feel the chunked impacts of a couple of asteroids as they're bouncing off of your shields and kind of like definitely making your traversal more difficult.
Okay, I'm going to hop onto the navigation computer then and see if the AI can figure this out for us and try and use tech instead of excavation.
Yeah, that's
'cause
perfectly fine. So
that I
what I'll
have.
say is this. I'm trying to figure out, I'm looking at the void ship and seeing what sort of damage you guys would accrue on your void ship.
Yeah.
But I don't think you would because it's still going through your shields. But you're just having a more difficult time doing it. Yeah.
Can I start shooting asteroids?
You can start shooting asteroids, good sir. You can. Yeah. So what I will say is that you can do that, Cole. You can certainly hack into the Spectre and have the Spectre on board begin to do navigation. Does the Spectre of this ship, the Minoan, have a name?
I don't know. Floyd?
Theseus.
Theseus?
Nice.
And that is I can do math really, I can. 25.
Awesome. With a 25, Theseus says, "Yes, ma'am, of course. Absolutely. I'll take over from here. Don't worry." And he begins to plot out a course to get through the rest of these asteroids. But they are still coming, and Lloyd, you can roll to hit me some asteroids, my friend.
25, say.
Yep, 100%. You start clearing out a couple rows, which make it easier for the ship to go through. And then
I'd like to.
Yep. No, feel free. Feel free.
Well, I'd like to see if I can get to since I was probably close to my mech at the beginning. I was probably in my mech at the beginning of all this. I'd like to actually go to my mech and see if I can wire my reactor core into the ship's power to boost the shield output.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Would that be another tech?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So that's a 24.
Excellent. Yeah, you do so. I mean, you guys are rolling really high, so that works out really well. You managed to boost the shields, so now the shields are definitely holding your ship together. What I'll say is this to speed up for some time. You guys get through the asteroid field. Everything is okay, but you definitely have taken some turbulence. And for the remainder of that evening, things go by unscathed. I will roll. I need one more roll, and I think we'll be okay. One more astrogation roll to kind of keep us on course, and then we should be at our destination. So
I'll do it, I guess.
Yeah.
That is a 17.
Okay, 17 will be enough to get through here with no problem.
Nice.
Yeah, you were perfectly fine. So the rest of your third day goes by pretty much unscathed. And that's when you see it. And I'll wait for Jeremy to get back because I don't want to describe it until he gets here. In fact, if we would like to, if you guys would like to take the break now, that'd be great. I'll tell Jeremy when he gets back to put up the break log. But if you guys are here and you're still watching with us, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I'm having a blast with these guys, and hopefully we can start getting into some mecha things after the break. Thank you. Jeremy, I know you were gone, but I was about to introduce the big reveal of the Labyrinth, and I didn't want to do that without you being here, because they made the last astrogation roll perfectly fine and nothing happened. I rolled on the table as well, nothing happened, so you guys were fine for that third day as well. Rolled some pretty good lucky rolls for that. We're going to take a break, and then we'll come back and I will describe what we see here.
Excellent. Sit tight, folks. We'll be right back.
We're back, Internet. Hello. Thank you for continuing to join us on this ride that has been really awesome. And I'm very excited because now I think we are getting into part 2 where we get to experiment with said mechs. So you have successfully, the crew has successfully navigated through point to point to their location, upon which you see before you, for a moment, you're confused because you just went through an asteroid band, and you could have sworn you just passed it. So why would you see another one? But then off in the distance, through all of this debris, you see a massive, hulking, black shadow of a derelict ship that could essentially block out any small freighters. This thing is massive from end to end. And you can see that one other ship has also arrived at this destination. But for the moment, you don't know, or you can't tell who that other ship is.
It doesn't look like the ship belonging
It does not look like Calliope's ship, no.
Does it look like a human ship, or is it?
It definitely looks like a human ship.
Okay.
It definitely looks like another mercenary ship. Something very much akin to yours, like heaps and bounds. If you guys would like to try to come in unnoticed from that other crew, you most certainly can.
Is there a way to try and get their transponder code? Like if we're talking Star Wars,
yeah. You could also try to hook up to their comms and hail them if you would like,
or just see who they are. Maybe not hail them, just kind of ping
Maybe
them.
just see who they are. Ping them and see who they are.
Yeah.
And kill the engines and go dark and see if we want to figure out who they are before we announce ourselves.
That's cool. Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of role would that be?
So to hack into any systems, I'm assuming it would be tech. So if you want to try to hack into their comms or anything like that, that would be their tech on the ship.
Okay, and Zeke's extended sensors, do they help with that?
They help with that because you are far enough back right now that they wouldn't notice you, but you can clearly notice them on your comms because of the double band range.
Okay, so do we roll with advantage?
So you would roll with advantage, yeah.
All right. I'm going to roll, guys, if that's copacetic.
Yeah, because essentially, if you do this right, you will catch them by surprise.
That's a 25. I think they're surprised.
So what I'll say is right now, you guys are currently stealthed, and I'll have you guys roll a...
that was a tech roll, so I'm assuming...
So you've hacked into their boards, yeah.
Who are they?
You see on the script that comes on your... do you have an arc tool? Yeah. On your arc tool, you see that this is... Let me pull up my notes. Because I got them all over the place. You see that this one, you recognize the symbol as a group called the Hounds of Grafe. They are notorious. You know that they are a band of rather cocky, pompous assholes. It's a group of three brothers. You know that to be for certain, and you can tell that it at least gives you the captain's name. With a roll of 25, it will at least give you the captain's name, and he goes by Serba Russ. Yeah, so they clearly do not know you are there right now, but you know that they are there. The Hounds of Grafe are known for being absolutely completely aggressive and cocky and narcissistic. They know that they're good and they're not afraid to show it.
Is it possible to scan the ship to see if any of them are still on the ship? Like, is this an empty ship that is attached to this thing, or
you don't know? So
Let's see if
you
they're-
are
Yeah.
welcome to see if they're there.
If their mechs
Yeah.
are on there too, because if their mechs are not on there, we can just destroy their means of escape.
Yep.
Potentially, you know.
That was exactly what I was thinking. Cut off the. Is that another tech roll to scan that?
Yeah, to do a scan, that would be another tech roll. I'm going to
So-
roll to see if, again, I'm going to roll against, so that way, if for some reason you guys roll lower, you guys have been rolling high enough to
Well-
where I'm beating you guys, but if you guys, yeah.
It's a 28. So
28. Okay, so that's yeah.
it's a 16 on the die with a plus 12.
I'm a try, but I doubt I will. Good
I
luck.
love being level 10.
Well, I rolled a nat 20, so
Oh shiz. What's
so
that mean?
that at least means that you run a scan on this, and I'll say that you gain the information, but doing the scan will alert them because now they know someone's looking at them. So you do the scan successfully, you get all the information you need, but they are aware. So they're going to be caught by surprise. If you guys can stealth, they won't know where you are, but they know someone's looking. So I think you hear over your comms. You'll hear something over the comms, but depending on how things go.
So as Zeke is running this scan, he's like watching all this information trickle, and he's like, and you guys could hear him over the comms like, beautiful, 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 beautiful shit. As he sees this last piece of information, basically that's like they're sending a probing scan back. He's like, sir, we might need to stay in the dark for a little bit longer, but
you pushed just enough, and I think you hear this back. My friend, it seems as though there are others eyeing our prize. This is not acceptable. Cerberus does not deal with this. Go handle it. I will stay here. You hear another voice come up. Of course, sir. I will handle it and take care. You don't know where they are, but you know that someone is coming back to their ship.
Let's fire on their ship.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know what our ship is armed with, or what kind of ship we have necessarily. But
so here's the thing: what kind of ship would you have taken? I'm assuming you would have taken if you guys had picked your ship, it would probably be a hauler based on the description. It would be a huge hauler.
Yeah, it has to be, right? Because we got the mechs on there. So
yeah.
But we said it was a hauler that had been retrofitted with a gun, right? Like a
Right,
oil
but
or something on it.
you do have some guns already on a hauler, so I will give you those specs if you would like.
Sure.
depending on what you would prefer.
Just the biggest one.
The biggest
That's
one.
all we. That's all we
fine.
need to know about right now, because that's
so
what we're shooting.
Lloyd,
I assume.
you have options of a pulsar cannon or a heavy repeater cannon on a hauler.
I don't know what the difference is, but I like the sound of
so
a
heavy
repeater.
Heavy repeater gives you a shorter range but heavier hit. Pulsar cannon does less damage but further range.
No, we want maximum impact.
Maximum impact.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to use the quote unquote tank boil, and that will be your heavy repeater cannon. I would like you to please roll to hit, and then I'll tell you if you hit. And I'll give you.
I got a weird question for you. I can augment weapons that I use. Can I augment the cannon on the ship?
Yeah.
It's fine if the answer is no. Man. That's not a problem.
No. Why not? Let's have fun. Let's let you do it. That's great. What would you like to do in augment?
All right, so I activate an Astrofade, and I'm going to make it a green Astra.
Ooh, okay.
Once per turn, when you deal damage, the target has disadvantage against us until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
So he'll infuse some green Astra into the firing cannon, and it'll basically create a sort of like short circuit and cause their scanners to mess up and fry and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I imagine he's in, like, if he's in the Matrix where they're like in those like gyroscopic, like that's the kind of thing that I think we have, although it's really creaky. And like it doesn't move quite so smoothly, but yeah. So I'll take a shot then. Is that all right?
Yeah. If you would like, I guess there is also a roll that you can do. You can choose to do a volley or do heavy fire.
It's a good question, and I think the answer is going to be heavy fire, but I don't really know what to do.
So heavy fire allows you to increase the accuracy and the damage. Volley allows you to attack using your void ship's ordnance. So your ordnance, if we just use your base ordnance from the gunner or from the hauler, your base ordnance is a 14.
Okay. Let's do heavy fire.
Heavy fire. Okay.
Yep.
So heavy fire is going to increase your damage and your output there. What you're going to do is roll to hit, and then I'll tell you what else happens with the heavy fire.
Heavy fire. Okay. So
heavy fire. Yeah, heavy fire will just increase. If you hit, when you take it, you increase your void ship's Astrofade by 1. And then you can attack a single enemy void ship with advantage using your void ship's weapons. And then this attack also deals an extra 1d6 to that ship.
Perfect. Okay. Do I add my shooting ability?
So what you do is it says to attack an enemy with void ship, make an ordnance check modified by your proficiency check, if applicable, and then the opposed by the void ship's armor class.
Right up. Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
It's a natural 20. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay, sweet.
I don't even need the advantage.
Do it.
Holy moly.
Just do it. Okay. So the damage.
Wait, I have extra shit. I can do stuff on crits.
You do have extra shit. Do it, please.
Wow. I can pick one of these. The target is stunned. Can you stun a void ship?
So what I'll say is this: you can stun a void ship. The way it does. So if since you had a natural 20, I won't say that it explodes the ship completely, but you pretty much put this thing in the water, right? Like if it had shields, those shields are gone. If it had an ability to move, it's going to have to be repaired. Like it is dead in the water with a stunned action. Someone would have to repair it and then come back for you.
All right. I don't know if you want me to roll damage or whatever, but
no. So yeah, 2d10 please is the damage that you get on a heavy the heavy repeater cannon.
Plus the d6 from.
Plus the d6.
Plus the d6. Yeah, you get an additional d6 plus. Hold on, I'm doing.
Didn't you also juice it with your own?
You can if you
Astra?
I juiced it with
again,
Astra, yeah.
your hauler only has an astrofade limit of 3, so just be careful with that. But yeah, you can easily do so if you would like to bump the Astra in that.
No, so the bump that I did was to have them have disadvantage against us. That was the
Yes.
green Astra. So
Yep, that was the
we're
green
looking at
Astra.
17 damage. I don't know if I add my dex or anything, but that's what we got, 17.
Okay, 17 damage. So you take a hefty chunk out of the back of this. So double that though. If you rolled 17, it's a crit. So you double that. So that would be
34.
24 damage, right? 34 damage. Yeah. So you take a hefty chunk out of the back. And if they hadn't noticed prior, they notice you now. So that you hear on the end of this comm, "Who the hell is firing on my ship? Answer me, dog."
I thought someone was on the way to take care of it. He's like loading another huge shell or whatever.
I know that voice. Resvan, is that you?
Nope. He'll begin lining up another shot.
You lying scrug of dog shit. Now you know me. Why would you dare come out here and fight me?
Whatever's on there is mine. Sorry, bud.
Captain, I'm getting real tired of this talking shit.
It is your death sentence. Fucking asshole.
But tell me, he'll say, why are you here? As he's like frantically reloading the gun and trying to keep the guy talking.
The same reason that I'm assuming you are. You heard that the Labyrinth has some sort of tech deep within its bowels. I do too. And I'm going to tell you right now, you will not get to it. Me and my brothers.
No. Not with the Hounds of Grave here. I guess I've made a mistake for sure. What will you do to me if you catch me?
You dog.
I'm going to fire again.
He's not on the ship. So what you see as you have fired on the ship, you see two mechs. He is inside the labyrinth somewhere. You see two mechs hurriedly heading back out to their ship, flying through this debris field, which as you are getting closer, you are noticing is a mixture of regular asteroids, destroyed mechs, and what seems to be a combination of both stone and mech that have been kind of eviscerated. You also see, as they're flying back, and you've already done this damage, in the array of damage that you've done, you're starting to see pockets of wild and raw Astra sort of flowing through this space.
So you can get a target lock on that mech.
Yes, sir. He starts immediately trying to lock on to this thing.
So I don't know. Like Razvan has seen a lot of weird shit and has been in a lot of war zones. And if there's one thing that he can do, it's focus on the task. So he's like, there's a lot of shit going on. And this guy's talking to me, but I know that every mech we kill from here is a mech that doesn't kill one of ours. So I'm going to try and shoot one of the mechs that's running.
Oh my God. Okay. So yeah, I have done the due diligence of finding some mechs. You see one of them come out, and it is moving at like bullet-like speed.
Everybody suit up.
Yep. If it is running at bullet-like speed back to its ship, and then the other one is slightly bigger, but they're like hopping from asteroid to asteroid, like trying to get back to the ship as fast as they can.
Ooh, actually,
Are
what
we-
I'll do is, sorry, you go ahead.
Are we close enough that we could get in our own mechs?
You can. I mean, you guys are close enough now where you are within the labyrinth space, so you could easily disembark now. But if you wanted to continue to fire from the ship, you certainly can.
I would say you guys suit up and I'll fire one more and follow.
Okay, sweet.
Zeke,
Sounds like a
Zeke,
plan.
I'm going to
Zeke
turn my
wants
lights
to-
on because it's way too dark in here now.
Zeke wants to take just a second to set up the autopilot on our ship to go out of weapons range as soon as we are all off the ship. And he'd like to set like a remote on his arc tool, like a remote recall.
That is why we pay you the big bucks. We don't pay you the big bucks. Nobody
No,
gets paid.
There's
a lot.
no big bucks involved here.
You offer me lots of opportunities to steal the big bucks myself, and that's
We
what
got
I really
exposure.
appreciate
We got
about
lots of
this
exposure for you on this job.
What?
That's a different take on exposure
Radiation,
for
solar.
sure.
Yeah.
some solar radiation, everything. Okay, so what would you like to do, Austin? Just make sure I gathered.
yeah,
I was listening, but
No, you're good. You're good. So what I want to do is try to set up the autopilot on our ship to head out of weapons range and set up a remote recall on my arc tool so that we can call it back when we're ready for it. So that it
Excellent.
doesn't, get destroyed while we're
Yeah.
on the labyrinth.
I am totally cool with that. You can roll to see what you get. And just so you know, I'm setting these DCs fairly high because I know you guys have been rolling so well tonight. I'm okay with that. Like, it's
We're
just
level
been so
10.
good.
It's just
Level
wild.
10, it makes it really difficult. Like, you have to set DCs to God mode to be able to do stuff.
If it's a tech roll, then that's going to be a 23.
Okay. Yeah. With a 23, you can do it easily enough. You guys have been versed. I will say that, you have no issues. Yeah.
We
Yeah, this
probably
is
have
like
an
just a
automated process.
I was gonna say this is a preset. Like I have like 6 settings. Like
Yeah.
one of them's
Preset
like
settings,
I need you
1,
you
2.
to go like 1 planet away versus
Yeah.
like half a planet away. And this is like the setting 3 where it's like
Follow
I
the
need you to
ring.
get far enough away.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet. So you do so, and then Resvin's going to be the only one left on the ship. All the rest of you, it sounds like, are going to go ahead and hop in your mechs. And Resvin, as he sets this up, you feel the ship begin to kind of like booster horizontally and then like get in place as it's moving in and out of range. So their ship is still kind of in place. It's stunned. You clearly stunned it. It's not moving, and it has no autopilot. It is going, however, the defenses are going to auto fire back on you now that it knows it's being attacked.
Okay. I'll fire my remaining shot before I run. You said they were like running towards the ship, right? These mechs like bouncing from rock to rock or a thing. I want to try and shoot whatever rock they are heading to, if that makes sense, with the last before I jump in my mech. And I'll defend for the ship or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free.
And I add the ship's ordnance, right?
That you do. You add the, well, hold on. You add, so you're rolling, you roll your ordnance. It's an ordnance attack. You add +4, not just, you don't add the whole ship's ordnance, but you add a +4 to your attack. Yeah.
All right, it's 18.
18. Okay. So with an 18, you would still hit their ship. Yep. You would still, or you would hit, you're trying to hit
I'm trying to make it
the
harder for
mech.
them to get where they're going. So
You're
if they're
trying-
running on a
Okay.
path, I'm trying to blow their path out of the.
So you're going to
water,
blow
you know?
one of the asteroids out of the way.
Exactly,
With an 18, you absolutely just blow one of these asteroids completely apart, and one of them that's just like the one that's skipping rock to rock to rock, trying to get back, jumps and is now just like coasting, and now has to put like thrusters backward and then try to go forward. So you've definitely ruined his momentum getting back to the ship. The other one is just coasting inward toward the ship and trying to get there, but then it fires off a volley from its own heavy repeater cannon. And I believe you guys, it matches everything. So with an 18 or 15 on the die, that's 19. So it will hit your guys' ship. And I have to roll for damage here. So give me one moment. That is going to be, where are my dice? All of them are moved around. Yeah, that is going to be, okay. 2d10, that's 7. So that is only going to be, boo. I didn't get a crit. So that's only going to be 7 damage. So it's very weak in opposed to how you hit them just at the right spot. Maybe they just hit right at the corner of your ship.
Right. Our defenses are up and everything too.
Your defenses are up. You've planned for this. You know how it works. So that goes towards your damage threshold. You're perfectly fine. Your shields are holding up, but they definitely took a hit.
Cool. I'm going to run down to my mech and get in and follow them.
Yep. So now, ladies and gentlemen, from this point on, when you are now out of your ship, unless you are out of your ship, we are going to shift into Mecha Hack rules so that when you're in your mechs, you're good. And if you want to add anything Harbinger related, as far as damage, things like that, spells, you can. But know that in Chrome City, the reactor cores are Astra cores. So every time you roll to do something with Astra, if you roll your reactor die and it goes down, you're going to be rolling on the Astra Fate table.
Do we increase our Astra Fate just for using any of our reactor abilities, or is it only if we go down in the reactor core?
So you're going to increase your Astra Fade just like you would in Harbinger. Like because you're using it. But if your reactor core goes down further,
it's an auto
roll on the Astra Fade table. Yeah.
Using something over our Astra Fade or lowering our reactor.
That's the mechanics that I've set up. Yeah, perfect. That's the mechanics that I've set up so far, because I want you guys to be able to use your Harbinger abilities and do some really cool Harbinger stuff, but also in your mechs. So yeah. All right, guys. Here is the drop zone. As you all get to the revolver of dropship that is who is dropping out first, and kind of give me the flair that you want to. You can just describe it with flair. I will say this. That nope, never mind. I will wait until such time that I feel like it's nice to reveal, and then you'll see what I'm talking about.
So Free would probably be the first one out, because she was already down in there preparing for extraction, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. So when she leaves, when it shoots out, basically her 3 arms are in a triangle above her mech's head as she's going through, and each of them are kind of glowing with a different color of Astra as they're being ejected from this revolver gun, and she's kind of spiraling through as you get a lot of speed as she's shot, if you will, from the gun.
We hear from the ship itself this bang, this hissing of air as you get ejected from the gun from the pod into space, and then you are ejected out into the cosmos.
I think Onyx Glory would probably be next because she
Yeah,
was running down
feel free.
there. And with her, it's less of the ship expulsion from the ship and more that it's like a spring has been wound up and then been let go. And she immediately engages the jump jets and starts flying. She is just a blur almost instantly, just a sort of dark colored blur.
Fantastic.
So I think maybe Sonic Boombox is next. Sonic Boombox comes rifling out of this gun escape pod mechanism, and he looks like almost like a metallic skeleton, kind of rusted and covered in grime, but he's huge. He's got these really wide shoulders that have these two circles, almost like where pectoral muscles would be, but these are giant speakers, and they're just like vibrating with all this noise that right now you can't hear because we're in outer space. But the pilot inside, Styx, hears all of it, and he's just jamming out inside this cockpit as his Baromecha is barreling towards these enemies.
Excellent. Yep, you are all barreling toward it. Again, the labyrinth looking like this just snake of a black hauler, this cargo ship that seems to go on forever in shadow as it is kind of just hovering there.
Next up, I think would have to be Zeke, because he was just finishing up his final kind of calculations and fixing up the autopilot, and he hops into Scrap Heap. And when Scrap Heap comes out, it comes out in like kind of like a jellyfish almost, where the limbs seem to be kind of retracted behind it, and it spreads out as soon as it's out. It kind of plops out of this chute, just this hunk of metal, and these four limbs articulate. And inside the mech, Zeke is inside, and he's got like this metallic belt around him has unwound itself, and it's like wrapped around. It's this multi-jointed arm that is like pulling on a lever, as his other hands seem to be kind of pulling on these other levers and pushing these throttles as he's maneuvering this thing inside. And there's little sprays of like oil and mist that seem to be kind of puffing everywhere inside this janky ass mech. But it's going to he's also going to engage his jump jets and try to fly a little closer to the enemy as he comes shooting out of the Minoan.
Yeah, I'll go last then, I guess, sometime later. After firing the shot, Gorgon 6 will get to the edge of the ship, and will fire just very slowly, like some thrusters to take off. The Gorgon is like slow and lumbering, and Razvan is pretty afraid of spacewalks. He's seen many like mighty mechs just get flown off into space. Doesn't matter how much armor you have if you get floated away. So he's really careful with it, and it's like really not dramatic. He's like just like very slowly moving so that he guarantees he gets there, because he's like sweating. He could be in a firefight, no problem, but this scares him.
Excellent. Is there anyone left? Who hasn't jumped yet? Okay, cool. So with all of you out, you're making your way. They're making their way back to. Two of them are making their way back to their ship. You are seeing one of them is kind of losing their footing. So you have two of them in front of you, and yeah, I think this is where you see, or you hear, for that matter. In your comms, you hear what is that? And then you hear a rumbling. And then a whirring. As from the inside of this shadowed for the cargo bay comes streaking out a beam of red Astra. One of the two that are currently heading back to their ship turns around just in time as he hears the voice of his commander. He turns around just in time to hit this Astra head on. You see this beam bisect this mech completely. There is a small central as it kind of implodes and then explodes outward. The now entanglement of red and yellow and green, this vibrant like rainbow color of Astra forms in this pocket that was once this mech. There is a reason that the Labyrinth has not been purged. And the one that is still alive is quaking in his boots. You can hear it on the comms, because you've hacked the comms. You hear them now. Boss, what was that? Stay down. I do not know. You hear on the comms Serba announcing you, Rez, is this some sort of a trick? Did you lead us here to our deaths?
You were here before me, bud.
Damnable magics. Come back inside now.
You immediately see that he's conflicted because he wants to get to the ship, but he also wants to help. Right. And he begins to about face and turn back to trying to help his commander. And he'll start heading back, even though he knows you're also heading inward. That shook him to his core. You guys can certainly chase after him and fight him, or you can go into the labyrinth yourselves.
I'll say on a private comm channel, making sure that the other crew can't hear us. These hounds can't hear us. Captain, want to just let them go? They seem like cowards anyway. Doesn't seem worth the fight.
We're here for the mission, and the mission is money.
Cowards can still stab you in the back. And she's going to be right there next to the guy.
Excellent. Okay. Onyx, you in stride get super close, to him like a shadow, and then I will allow you to roll do whatever kind of attack you would like to do.
All right. I'm actually not going to get close. I'm going to near is the next one out, right?
Near is the next one out. Yeah.
I'm going to get near because I have the ability to make close attacks from near because that's one of the modules I took.
Yes.
And I am going to use the static cloud module, which allows me to test mobility. And I succeeded. And I deal 1d4 to 2 close enemies and then become hidden. So that's a 4. And I become hidden, and then I roll my reactor die, which is a d6 once I find it. And I succeed on the reactor die. So that counts as 1 astrofade for me then? Okay, so I can't do this then every turn.
So we're gaining astrofade for using reactor?
No, so because you have an Astra core. So when you use your reactor, if it succeeds, you won't take additional. You won't have to roll on the table. If you fail, you have to roll on the table.
Okay,
it's like an automatic. When you fail, you have to roll on the Astra.
We're not gaining astrofade for using.
No, you're not. You're not gaining astrofade for just using it. You're going to just gain astrofade when you pump stuff into it. So like if I want to make a Harbinger weapon, right? Like if I want to add Harbinger damage, or if I want to do a spell, those things then pump Astra into. Yeah. So then you roll on your fade table appropriately for your Harbinger fade. Yeah, your Harbinger Astra fade.
And there was one other thing. Hang on. And because I attacked them with my quick palm beam, quick lets me make 2 attacks. So I actually do twice as much damage. Yay. So that's another 1 point of damage. Everything stacks. It's so beautiful. I love Mecha Hack.
I had to just make sure we're good. You certainly do. You can take those attacks, and he just like completely caught off guard. His you hit and
boss, they've ejected. Should I go after them? Of course, go after them, you dog.
Right. And he'll look to where you shot, and he'll begin to like move his way up toward you. I just want to make
Except he can't see me because I'm hidden.
Yep, because you're hidden now. Yep.
Covering fire. I'll shout and I'll begin firing my endless chain gun, sort of covering the area where Octavia is not, because I think I would know that like her mech does this. So just fire in the direction of the other guy. I have a belt-fed gun, so I just like shoot at an area, and it keeps going every turn. If I continue to fire, basically. So I'm gonna shoot whatever is coming towards or looking for Octavia. Although I'll only do that once I get to something that I can land
So
on.
I'll just see if you, I'm just trying to make sure. Let me make sure. Yep, you're good. You can do that.
Okay. All right, I'll take a shot. So I have a +2 to hit, which is bad in this game. But I rolled a 6, so that's good. So yeah, I guess he's like, and then we'll finally like arrive at something that he can like latch onto, and then we'll like move the massive chain gun and begin to like fire. When I hit a target with this weapon, I can use an action on subsequent turns to just deal damage to it again. I don't have to roll to hit again because I have a belt-fed gun. And my damage has gone up by 1. I took a module for that, so it's D8. So it's 5 damage from that. And I'll keep hitting him every turn unless I roll a 1 on my damage die.
Oh, nice. Okay, very cool. Very cool.
I cannot believe this feature is real. I love it so much.
So
fun.
he clearly sees that he is outnumbered 5-1, but he's doing what his boss told him to do. Like, as he gets hit by Octavia and then he gets hit by Resin, he's starting to realize that he is out in a minefield of like just run and gun. So he is going to attempt to maneuver away. I just have to check what their maneuverability is for that particular enemy. One moment. Otherwise, yeah, he will attempt to.
I forget. Are there opportunity attacks in Mecha Hack? Oh well, I'm not close.
Yeah,
Never mind.
He essentially can. He rolls his mobility to move out of the way or keep. I think it is opportunity attacks if you're within a certain band range. I don't remember though, so maybe someone in the chat can remind me and tell me. But yeah, he is going to try to move and get out of the range. Let's see here. That will be a.
Yeah, there are. They list them on page 7 of the main book.
Of the main book? Okay. Yeah. So.
You have to be within close range to take it.
You have to be in close range. Yeah, okay.
And I think because I'm hidden, it doesn't apply.
Yep.
It wouldn't apply if you were moving. I think
Oh,
that is, right?
okay. Never mind.
Yeah, because they can't see you. Yeah.
Because they can't, yeah. It wouldn't apply if you were moving, so you're good. Yeah. So he's gonna definitely try and run away from this situation. I will roll to see if he can get out of the bandwidth. Let's see. The only problem that I have with this is looking at what positives and negatives they have on Mecha Hack for enemies. It's the only thing that I'm having, as opposed to where Harbinger, they have like a list of the pluses and minuses. It just says like, if you do attacks, you roll at mobility. If you do attacks, you roll systems, but it doesn't show like.
Typically running bad guys
stuff.
in Mecha Hack, you don't roll much as the GM, except for damage.
Yeah. So he's definitely going to try and skirt away. You see him like realize that this is way too much firepower, and he begins kind of using his own jets and just trying to jump away from whatever onslaught you guys are doing.
So he moved to.
He's going to move from. So he was in near range to Octavia. Mm-hmm. He's moving further away from her right now. Okay. He's going to continue to move further and closer to the labyrinth itself.
And those of us who are coming from the Minoan, we are starting at far range from him, but now
we're starting at far range
distant?
And moving in. Yeah.
Are we now distant because he moved away?
No, you're not, because he moved away. I think you would be distant. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, yes. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So in that case,
spatially,
I am going
it's kind of hard when I don't have a physical map.
Absolutely. So I'll use the first part of my turn as just moving, just kind of closing back into far distance with him, and then I'm going to. Okay. So, as I'm doing that, you can see that the speakers on his chest are still like just vibrating and humming, and the mech's mouth, like basically these 2 rows of teeth that would be on a skull, form the light bars of like music that's constantly like shifting up and down with the beat of the music, and this bars, these bars just open where the mouth would be, and this light that forms these light bars going up and down kind of coalesces, and then is going to shoot straight out of his mouth. I'm going to use my Maw Beam chassis ability. So I have to do test power. It's a 4 under 18, so that should be a success. He is going to take 1d12. 11 points of sonic damage. I'm just calling it sonic damage.
Okay. Yep. So we've had the 5 damage from earlier. We've had that. Rez, you got some damage on him as well, right? How much damage did you roll on that hit?
7, I think is what.
7 damage. So yeah, he's looking rough as he's getting very close to the it's he's getting very close to the cargo bay, but he's just it's like getting pelted, and he's trying to maneuver out of the way and do as much as he can, but you guys are just waylaying into him.
I'm focused on where that red Astra beam came from.
Yeah.
So was that like a turret of some sort?
That was somewhere inside the labyrinth. You don't know you don't know where it came from, but in the dark shadows, something lit up like magenta red and shot out from inside of it.
Okay, I'm gonna keep heading that way and keep an eye on that to try to pinpoint where that's coming from. Because I'd like to try to do something to stop that from being a problem.
Yes, you most certainly can. So if you move, so Jeremy, you said you got a 6 on a D8.
Yeah, I just forgot to roll my reactor after my Maw Beam attack, so I was just rolling it and letting you know what the result was.
And then that still keeps you at a D8, right?
Yeah, yep. As long as it's not a 1 or a 2.
Okay, so you're good. That was not again. Thank you. Alrighty. So yeah, Austin, you can certainly do that however you like. I would have you probably test I'll probably have you test systems because it's more like a scan you're probably trying to do, or you're trying to look for something.
Okay. So
I'd test systems to see if you can kind of navigate that.
That is a success.
Awesome.
Six out of 18.
So
I got real lucky on my level ups.
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to do. Zeke is kind of moving in. You're moving in those bandwidths, as you go. You've probably gone away from the fight as far as you're trying to catch up to him. But as you kind of coast around a corner, you see deeper within. And I think you can now see Sura kind of hunkered down behind some of these walls, but you're also seeing some really interesting stuff inside there. You see a shadow moving within the hull as you pass. Something, like when you see the lights that are in there, but then something moves past it like a shark in the water. You see something move through, but you're not quite sure what it is.
So my goal is to land, and I don't know if I need to finish this next turn. I'm going to use the jump jets again to get even closer to this thing.
Yeah, so you'll use the jump jets again and move in.
Yeah. I'd like to land like on the outside of the hull above wherever this hole that I'm seeing the guy is.
Yeah, so imagine it like in a Star Wars cargo bay where there's like the shields and it's just an open
Yep, exactly. Okay, so I want to land. I want to try to like latch on like right above the like where the loading bay doors would be on the outside of the hull.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. You can certainly do that for me. Again, that would probably be. I'll have you do a mobility test to see if you can navigate, like stay on and hold on to your, like hold your grip on, unless you've got like unless you've got like the grav boots and stuff, or you can lock in place.
I have grav boots, but that's my like Harbinger character.
Yeah.
So not so much. And I rolled a 19. I rolled a 19 with an 18 mobility.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay, so here's what I'll say. This is kind of like the first
hit the hull and start to like slide down without being able to ever get a grip.
Having that like being in space is an odd sensation. Your feeling of depth perception gets a little weird. So as you get close, you think you have a grip, you think you're perfect, and then slip those metal talons of your mech start to just kind of scrape along the cargo hold.
I kind of miscalculated which direction the artificial gravity bubble, like in the very vicinity of the ship would be, and like went sideways. Like, ugh.
yeah. You know, like when you see something and you get surprised, you're like, oh shit, that thing happened, right? It's that moment, that split second moment where you saw the thing that now distracts you from making sure you have a good grip. So you're kind of floating there, bud. And maybe I'll say this, you don't get right on the lip of the cargo bay, but you do manage to stop yourself, but you're further back now on this labyrinth, the hood, as it is, of this ship. Yeah. So let's see. Zeke went. So yeah, the baddies are gonna go now. You can see that the other one, this one is he's a burly one. He is definitely more of the tanky variety of mech. He just kind of stomps after the commander, and the commander and him like having a conversation. You can see them having a conversation, and then they begin to move in deeper into the labyrinth, feeling like they are safe, feeling like now you all will be fodder for whatever's inside here.
Are we back to me? Okay. The dude hasn't made it to his ship, has he? Or
no, he went backwards.
Turned around.
He turned around. He went back toward the labyrinth. Yeah, he went back toward the labyrinth with his commander. Yeah.
Okay, so he's gone.
He is on the ship.
Okay.
Now, his commander. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So can we still see them, or are they gone?
Yeah, you can still see them. I think you can still see them from the distance that you're at, but you can see that they're moving inward. They have decided to move inward toward the heart of this labyrinth.
Okay, so I would say I would probably get on our comms and be like, Razvan, do we pursue or do we just land and proceed as normal? Except I say it with the voice that I've been using for her because I just forgot. Yeah.
Like you do. That's fine.
Yeah.
I guess let's get them. He'll say, finish them off before we go any further.
Okay, so then she's going to use her jump jets to go after them. So if are they far now?
They would be far from you, I think, now, because they'd be pushed in. Okay. Jeremy, answer to your question in the chat, sir. You don't know, but you can certainly try to find out. If you would like to roll me a systems check to see if you can scan it for other alternatives, you can more than likely do that.
No, I'm good. I just was curious if it was obvious or not.
No, yeah, you can't see anything from outside that there would be, but this thing is long enough that there's potentially other entrances from other areas. Yeah.
All right, so I am going to get near to them. Well, yeah, near to them, not close, but near. And I am going to do the same thing I did last time, except I'm going to attack both of them. So I need to test mobility, and that's a pass because the only time I fail is if I roll a 20. And then where is it here? If I succeed, I do 1d4 damage to both the targets, and I already had 2d4s out here. And so I do 3 points of damage to Cerberus and 1 to the other dude. And hang on here. I think, do I get to roll twice on both of those? Yeah, I guess. Because those are my palm beams. So then 2 and 3. So I do like 5 points of damage on one and 4 on the other. And I hide again.
Okay. They're getting.
Oh, and I roll my reactor die.
Yep, they're getting barraged right now. They're going to definitely kind of try to maneuver and get out of your way and get out of the way, but you guys are hunting them essentially at this point. And they take that damage and keep moving.
I'm still just firing that massive chain gun in the same direction. I guess it's just like, lighting up space with these massive bullets. We zoom in and see one that's got like bang written on it, right? Like, So it auto hits as long as I keep taking this action. And I can still see them, which I assume I can. It's gonna be 8 damage from that one.
8 damage. Okay. So who are you aiming at?
Same guy I shot last time. The guy
Same guy you shot last time. Okay. Yep. So he, with all the damage that he's taken, I imagine that like you shoot this shot and he kind of like almost Captain America-esque hitting his commander with his arm, like will bat his commander out of the way and just take the rest of the shot. Describe to me how you would like to take out Bassett.
Like, the bullet is as long as a human, so it's just like, and they're firing at like several per second, so just like it zooms all the way in, and we can see the bullet spinning, and like we get like the close up.
It's like, no, boss.
Yep, and then it just like
him out of the way. And he sacrifices himself in the most epic glory. As he explodes, you see this blue Astra sort of emanate from his mech's corpse as it explodes everywhere, leaving a Astra sort of fog where he stood.
Well, stop shooting, and there's like 300 like shell casings like floating in space around me. He'll like wave some of those away and begin reloading the gun.
Oh my, 3 just unreal amount of shell casings he's launched into this guy, and Cerber is cursing under his breath, angry that the 3 of them could not take on this thing, but he is one not to be denied, so he is going to keep running and go further into the ship. As he does so, you all hear that and then again another whirring. I need anyone that is near the mouth of this ship. Please roll me a mobility check.
So I think I'm inside, yeah?
You
Because
would now be inside if you were still following. Resven is close to being inside. It looks like Zeke is on the outside. And Freya, would you have been up close by now? Would you have gotten like on the ship?
I am slower than Zeke, and I would have been following Zeke.
Okay.
But I don't have jump jets, so I will only be traveling.
So
whatever.
You would be probably with Resven still out on that near band, not the close band yet. Okay.
So I'm going to use my ability, Strange Empathy, to instead roll presence instead of mobility.
Ooh. Okay, please feel free to roll your presence.
That is a success.
Okay, so all of you manage to
Well done, everyone.
move out of the way. But I will say this because, damn it, it's just too good. This beam, again, comes firing out of this labyrinth. And in this space, you all sort of, anyone who's outside of the ship moves. Anyone who is inside the ship has found cover. You all kind of like slide to get behind cover and move in places. That beam now jettisons in the same direction that it did earlier and goes into their ship. Into their ship. And their ship explodes in this prismacolor of Astra. Just a whole lot of just craziness. And again, you hear that thrumming underneath.
Can I make like a brain check to see how long it was between bursts?
You can. Did you say a brain check?
Yeah, just like check my brain. I guess
just want to check my brain.
You know?
In fact, I don't know what would. Listen, I know what the equivalent would be in Harbinger. I don't know what the equivalent would be in Mecha Hack.
Maybe we could just say systems like we could do energy readings from a system.
What would the equivalent be for like a sanity check in like a wisdom check in presence? Okay, I need everyone who just witnessed that to roll me a presence check, please.
That is a 20 on the die, my friend.
Oh no, Zeke.
Oh no, Zeke. Oh no, Zeke. Okay, so you rolled a 20. Buddy, so here's the deal. You still saw that happen, right? So here's what I'm gonna say about that.
It probably came out from almost right underneath where I am too.
Yeah,
like this beam like shot out from like right like between my legs practically. As I'm dangling over the edge of
I don't know what the equivalent would be. Let me look at them. Let me look at the. I'm trying to see if he would be stunned for a moment. Yeah, I think that would probably be what I have to do for you. Is that you're looking at this thing, and you find that you've never seen power like this. You've never seen anything like that. And so it takes you a second and then you freeze up. So you're already hanging on there, but like if you were going to take an action, you can't take an action right now. You're frozen in place knowing that the possibility of this thing being in there, whatever it is that massive.
Yeah, his immediate thought is like, beyond just a bit of sheer terror, he has this quiet voice and says like, maybe let Razvan go in first.
Yeah, you are going to hold on to that memory of watching that ship completely explode, probably for the remainder of your career.
And he's like frantically checking the screen on his arm, on his arc tool, to like make sure, like, how far away is my ship and can I make it go further?
Yeah, can
like,
I make it go further? Can I do these? Yeah. So what I'll do is, based on time, what I'll do is I'll have you guys get into the labyrinth. Now, the cool part about the labyrinth is when you start seeing it, you are the initial part, you're in this cargo bay. You all land in this cargo bay, and for the most part, it seems you, however, Zeke, do not. You're still hung up on the roof. Yeah, you are still hung up on the roof, and you begin to. You all begin to kind of make your way into the labyrinth itself. Yeah. What would you guys like to do? Those of you who are now on the labyrinth.
So I think we see AQ6 kind of land and kind of land into almost like a little bit of a jog. You know, kind of like land and have to run just a short distance to actually slow down my momentum. And he stops and bends down, and one of his legs kind of like opens, and he starts pulling out all of these pieces that he stole straight out of Quirk's shop. And starts kind of like fitting them onto his axe. I'm going to use the ability I have from Harbinger called Tech Boost. Cost me an action. My Astrofade goes up by 1. For 1 minute, my weapon is going to have a +1 to attack and damage. So I'm going to put that on my great axe.
Excellent. Yeah, you can certainly go in. Here's what I'm going to do too. I had to roll to find out something, and then I lost a die. Okay, I'll roll again. I'll roll another one. I don't want to lose that die. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you guys go into this hole. It is pitch dark, so if you don't have lights on your mechs, you're going to need to ignite them. And you can see further in that there is light, but right here in the early hangar, there is nothing. It is pitch black dark. And you hear that rumbling and the whirring of something deep within.
Take cover.
Yep. You begin to hear kind of these small hissing sounds, like a broken fuse or like a broken line, like an oil line or something, further down the halls. The initial doorways there, you see on the front of this hole, it says like, welcome to, like, honestly, it says welcome to the labyrinth, and it looks like something that had been posted up as if this was a not just a mech vessel, but it originally had been like a passenger vessel. Someone had been using it to freight people, but now it is no longer that. Yep. You get inside, and you can kind of see, as all of you reach that threshold and you cross that threshold, there was a green Astra sort of shield that kind of you pass through to get inside. You hear down the hall those hissing sounds, and immediately you are all greeted by 1, 2, 3, 4 of these what look like tentacles. They rush through the doorway, all having these optics, like they're looking at you, like they're scanning you. Oh yeah, sorry guys. It does seem like there's some background noise. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's this weird look of yellow Astra in one eye, red Astra in another, green, blue, and then there's a fifth, which is this neon magenta purple. It's this very odd, like, culmination of all these neon colors that are all scanning you and looking at you. And you hear this hissing coming from them like hoses and air pockets. So you feel free. They are now in the room with you, but they clearly have not made any motions toward it, but they may very well may.
So Octavia is going to recall any other lore she has about Merid, just to see if maybe we can diplomatically talk to these tentacle things.
Yeah, feel free. Yeah.
And just sort of attempt. Hello, is this? I'm not sure what this is, but do you need something from us to prove we're okay to be here? We're looking for Merid and any information about her whereabouts.
So, roll me a.
I think there's a diplomacy.
It's
thingy
presence.
in her. Well, I think in Harbinger, though.
There is, yes. If you would like to roll diplomacy in Harbinger, then that is perfectly fine. I think
or presence. Let me see here.
That's fine. Whichever works for you.
Presence is a 16, and I have a +6 in diplomacy, so I'll try presence.
All right, roll me a D. Roll me quickly a D4, please.
As she starts talking, Zeke's mech scrap heap will hold out one of its multi-jointed arms, and a bunch of little pieces of metal will form off of it to create a support spheroid, and it will hover over to her and kind of like light up just this like kind of glow behind her to try to give her words a little more import, make her sound a little more like benevolent.
Okay, cool. So you're kind of amplifying her voice?
Yeah, just trying to use the support spheroid. Basically, it would be they can add my intelligence mod to their check. So if she's doing it with the Harbinger rules, but I don't know how that works for.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's perfect. The way you described it is great. So, it essentially, like, how I can describe it would be like how thaumaturgy like levels your, adds to your voice. You are resonant, and then you hear from one of these tentacles something resonate back. Intruder alert. Reformatting hull formation. So I need everyone who is currently on board to make a mobility check, please.
I thought we all got on board after the ship.
Yes, you all got on board. You're fine. Okay. So you're all on board. I'm just needing you to make mobility checks because the actual space of the labyrinth is beginning to move under your feet. You begin to feel it shift. The yellow eye flares, scans the entirety of the room. And the entire thing begins to rotate on its axis and then move, almost like it's folding. It's so off-putting for a moment, but all of you manage to hold on, whether you're holding on to something or you place your grav boots on the floor. Like no matter what you do, you've managed to hold on.
So in my lore digging, was I
Yes.
able to find any of the security codes for the
So what did you
original
roll
Labyrinth?
So from your lore?
From my original lore,
From your original lore.
back the first roll I did.
Yeah. With a
23 or
with that ridiculous roll, you would know that this is a very well kept ship.
Yeah.
Merid was not someone who wanted these things to be lost. She was very meticulous about keeping it. That being said, you know that there are a number of different Astra protections that are on this ship. You know that. What they are inside there, you do not know. But
yeah, I was just
clearly,
hoping for like a security code that I can punch into something, or
clearly, you could certainly try to do that. There are multiple panels here. There are a couple panels here that show 3 doors that exit from this cargo bay. You could get to a panel and then try to run a systems check if you're inside your mech to do that, or if you even wanted to roll a tech check if you were outside of your mech, if you wanted to get out of your mech and then go there, you could.
Is there air?
There is not. You would need a breather to.
Okay, I don't remember if I got a breather or not. I can't
You
remember
would have
that,
if you had.
that's part of the.
If you, it's part of your standard equipment. So you would.
Okay.
Add that. So whatever benefits you the most, feel free.
Let me look at what my system says here. Hang on. I think I would probably get out of my mech, which is making me as a person very nervous, but
very dangerous. Yes.
Yes. So I'm out of my mech. I'm going to punch in to one of these to the closest access board and try and liaise with the ship itself. And that's a tech, right?
That is a tech.
And that is a 27, yes. 7 and 5 is 27.
You unlock every lock in the known universe. No, you certainly house with this one soundboard, and you get a specter online. Hello, how may we be of assistance? Welcome to the Labyrinth.
Hello, I am here with my partners, and we're hoping to discuss the possibility of reuniting any remaining crew members with the rest of the universe and returning the Labyrinth into regular service.
It takes a moment, computes what you've said, and says, "We're sorry. That command cannot be allowed."
May we at least look around?
You see, as you have kind of discussed it with this, it processes again. And a number of the 5 tentacles begin to sort of weave their way back in, but 2 of them stay.
You are unknown to us. Why should we trust those who come to the labyrinth?
Why should you not trust? You have been out of touch with the rest of the universe.
Many have tried to do what you have done.
Many have damaged the labyrinth. We have not.
So far.
Yeah, no, it thinks about it, and you hear this like this female voice on the other end.
So far, you have not. But protocols being as they are, things may be followed.
We would prefer not to die here.
That is not up to me.
Who is it up to?
That is up to Mother.
Oh.
Mother makes those decisions, not I.
Can you tell us more about Mother?
Mother has been here since the first voyage. Mother has stayed with us.
Mother is a puppy dog in the background.
Apparently, yes. Mother is my dog. No.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. This happens. You hear her kind of look, or the spectral form begins to form in front of the specter. And you see that it is a woman.
I cannot speak ill of Mother. Mother will hear.
I would not ask you to speak ill of anyone.
But if I tell you, she will certainly drain me. I do not wish for that to happen.
I do not wish you to be drained either. Draining does not sound like a pleasant experience. I do not wish to be drained either.
It is not. But everyone who has ever come here has not been like you. They are aggressive. They are fighters. How are we supposed to react?
I'm sorry if I'm interrupting here, but like I just want to tell you, like I'm a fixer, not a fighter. Like the things I got on me, they're made for repairing, not breaking. So like if you got something broken, you can point that out to me, and I will go ahead and fix it. Like we can be on the same side here.
Many malfunctions, many repairs that need to be taken care of.
Well, then you're in luck, pal. Like you've found the right crew. This place, it's a fixer upper for sure. But like we could definitely do something with this. We could help you out.
She looks at you and analyzes what you're saying, all of you.
Will Mother allow us?
I do not think so.
Why not?
She never allows anyone.
To fix anything? You would think Mother would want surroundings reflective of her stature, of her importance.
Perhaps once, yes. Now, no.
But you hear this like odd distortion in her voice, as if something's breaking up the signal that is now been. I can't do that. No, Mother. I'm not trying to.
And I assume that the image goes.
The image fades. At that point, the two snake-like tendrils that are in the room begin to make postures and stances. You hear on the comms something static in your head, especially you, Styx, because you're so attached to your mech. I'm assuming that you would probably hear this in more volume. Foolish children, come to claim what is mine. I have already hunted. You shall not take my quarry. Yep. And to close out, I think what we'll do is we'll have this little quick small thing of how you guys would like to attack or do anything to these two tendrils that are now going to address you.
Octavia would do her normal thing of denying everything. We're not here to attack anything. We're not here to steal your quarry. We're not. We're just innocent bystanders. We just want to sell you a watch. We want to wash your windows.
You hear that word, like that sound in the depths of this Leviathan that is the Labyrinth. The same sound that you heard earlier, Zeke. Yeah, the same figure you saw earlier. You can hear it deep in the bowels of the ship. And yeah, I think you guys, clearly this is something that we want to continue. I know that it is late, so what I would like to do is offer my friends this opportunity. Would you like to continue this and make this a second half so that we can end this game properly? I don't want to rush a mass combat or anything, and I want you to get a chance to really explore the labyrinth within. Plus, it'll give me an opportunity to make some cool Mecha Hack puzzles and some Mecha Hack things that I'm very excited for. So, yeah, I'm sorry for kind of putting the brakes on stuff, but yeah.
No worries, man. Like, I'm excited to keep going. I didn't make 2 level 10 characters
Same.
to rush through things.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
like, let's do this right.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I really liked how this flowed. So far things have not been bad. So if you are watching at home with us, thank you so much. Because this has been a blast and it's given me a lot of confidence to things that I didn't think I could do or run. Like, I haven't run games in over a year. So having a game actually go successfully and feel great is chef kiss. It's so good. So thanks, guys. It's so wonderful. I can't, thanks.
Thank you, Chad.
So yeah, I'll let you guys have a moment to do your outros. Tell people where you can find them, and have you guys say one thing you guys enjoyed about the game, and then I think everybody we can call it a night.
I like Quirk.
Thanks, buddy.
I think Quirk's really funny, and really felt like a guy. You know, he felt like a real dude, which is great.
Like a real NPC within that universe of this.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes you have like the guy who gives you the mission, and they're like, "Hello, I'm providing you with the mission. Go and do the thing." But this guy felt like he had like some other stuff going on, you know, which is great. I had a lot of fun. I really love Mecha Hack. I just think it's so fun. And I also love Harbinger, so both of those things are great. And I never considered like using them together, but it does kind of work. It's a little bit of work, but it does kind of work. So visionary, I would say. Other than that, I don't know. I have a YouTube channel. If you're watching Jeremy's channel, you probably know that already. So see you next time.
Excellent. Thank you, Lloyd.
I really loved both the Harbinger and the Mecha Hack stuff. I love both systems. They're just so great. I want to play in them more. And especially Mecha Hack. I really like Mecha Hack, and I never liked Mecha at all. Like that, I didn't even think that would be something I enjoyed until I discovered Mecha Hack, which I discovered on Jeremy's channel. I think, or maybe it was a game with Jeremy. I might be lying. It could be Alan's game with Jeremy and Chad, now that I think of it. Anyway, I associate it in my mind with the two of you. So it's been a joy to play with you guys. And yeah, you can find me on CFT RPG on Fridays on Twitch with Chad. And that's it, I guess. I don't have cue cards for this.
It's fine. I don't have cue cards for anything I do, so we're good. I just throw things to the wayside.
Well, unlike you guys, I pre-script everything I say in every game I play in and every intro and outro. So let me just consult my notes real quick.
You got to get better writing.
That was, yeah, no, I mean, I have a lot of improv people that became sketch writers who like do my scripts, and so it's got kind of a free flowing nature to it. But anyway, I want to say
you're a beat writer. That's great.
My favorite part of this was the just the uniqueness of everyone's mechas and how well they fit their characters' personalities. I thought there was something really special to how different all of them felt. From like the barrow mech that wraps around its robo cyborg pilot to like the giant brick shithouse that like gets inside a giant brick shithouse. Like, it's amazing. I think that was a great combination of things, and I had a blast with this game. Also, just the idea of like fusing the two is so fun, because like having a character who's like made of a scrap heap of mecha components, but also uses all these components to make like drones, so they just kind of fly off and like do other shit, is fun. I had a lot of fun with that. So can't find me anywhere. Don't try. I'm not interesting on the internet. I play in some other people's games.
Well, you are now, because you're here, so there's that.
Well, yeah. Yes, I'm interesting as a guest on other people. So, but thank you very much for including me in this, and I'm excited to get to finish it.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
So, what was not to like about the game? Like, really, everything was great.
Thank you, Karen. So nice.
I am super excited to find out what the Labyrinth is like, because I love the creepy horrorness that you've got going there with Mother and her draining and the tentacles, and love it. Can't wait to see the next installment of this. So yeah. And Mythic Gears, that's my channel. Check me out. I'll be back here on Jeremy's channel on Wednesday. See you then.
Close. It won't be on my channel. Not until like Saturday. But
oh,
yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Come see me with Jeremy and Austin. When we leave this channel, go to a different channel and play Jeremy's game.
Yeah, everybody, my name is Jeremy. This is the Erasmus Expeditions channel. That is my YouTube channel typically. This is the first time I've produced a game for another GM, and I'm very glad that I did. It was awesome having Chad as the first one to run a game here on the channel. So thank you, Chad.
Oh, I didn't know that. So now that makes it even more special. Thank you, buddy.
It was special from the get-go. As far as what I liked about the game, I think I would largely have to echo what Austin said. I really like how well you could pick things for your character from Harbinger and Mecha Hack that had synergistic feeling to them. Like, it made sense to take certain, what do they call them, talents in Harbinger, or certain kind of modules and things like that with Mecha Hack. It was like, oh, I already established this part of the character in this other system, but this thing now makes really great sense to go with that. It was really cool to watch happen as I was building the character together. And like Austin said, how much the mechs mimic the person, almost like that old meme of like how everybody's dog somehow ends up looking like them, you know, and vice versa. It was really cool, and it worked well. I was worried there was going to be more road bumps, kind of moving between them, and that didn't seem to be the case.
Brother, me too.
Yeah, that didn't seem to be the case. So I was really happy to see that. It was a good surprise. So yeah, as far as where you can find me, well, you can find me right here, typically, on the YouTube channel. And Wednesday, I will be running session number 2 of a campaign that just kicked off over on Jacob Norman's Mini Terrain domain on Twitch. So I'm very excited for that. And yeah, thank you so much, everybody. This was a fantastic game. And Chad, you did a wonderful job. I appreciate it and love you, man. So thank you.
Yeah. You guys can find me. I have my own YouTube channel. I don't use it enough. I will start using it more, especially now because this game did great. It makes me feel a lot more confident that I can continue to run games and do things. So yeah, this was awesome, guys. We'll plan another session because I want a session 2 where you guys get to fully play out your Harbinger character, your Mecha Hack character. I'm gonna make it so you have to use both sides, and I'm gonna find a way to do it. Yeah. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good night. I love you. Take care.